Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Little delivers. Freeman. It's one high in the air. Straight away center field. Varsho at the wall. Gone! Freddie Freeman, Mr. World Series.
Thank you to the Dodgers Radio Network and Freddie Freeman, just one of the heroes from last night. First player ever with multiple walk-off games in World Series history. Shockingly, Perloff overshadows Shohei Ohtani, who had 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and 5 walks in this game, and was the only player with 4 extra base hits since 2016. I mean, just so many incredible things last night. Dodgers win. They take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman, I don't know the actual number. I think he had 7 almost walk-off home runs, too.
Yeah, but a lot of warning track, dying at the warning track.
What a incredible thing. I mean, definitely, it's one of those things where you're witnessing history unfold in real time. It's going to go down in the history of one of the top 10, maybe World Series games of all time. The funny thing is that we've had 2 18-inning games in the last 7 years. I mean, how many bullpen guys that can throw 100 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It was the greatest modern baseball game because Shohei was there, too. I mean, Shohei adds another level to the historical impact of this game easily.
There was so much here. I think a couple things. One, I do not, while we talk about how the Dodgers, prevailed and they win this game in 18 innings, I do want the Blue Jay fans to have some space here to call in and be a little ticked off about some of the decisions that their manager made. And I understand that it's 18 innings and no one is expecting to play 2 baseball games when you sign up for 1. But there were times when not only did bad luck hit the Toronto Blue Jays last night with George Springer going out with an oblique injury, you needed to lift Bo Bichette because he's obviously still dealing with a knee. Alejandro Kirk got lifted for a pinch runner. All in all, you had 4 pinch runners and an emergency pitch hitter in this game. And there were just some decisions that in games like this, I think a Blue Jay fan has every right to be upset, even though you understand you're in like this basically uncharted water of an 18-inning game. But the lineup you started with at the beginning of the night is not the lineup you ended with. And no. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa cannot be protection behind Vlad Guerrero in a lineup because you basically just, neutralize the best weapon for the Blue Jays in the lineup. But again,
one thing you know what you cannot throw a fastball over the middle of the plate to Shohei Ohtani with a 5-4 lead.
That was Sir Anthony Dominguez.
I'm down with all the intentional walks, though. That one, I'm not sure if anybody's criticizing him for that, but I would have walked him even more.
No, not that. I think actually that deserves maybe, not to get too insidery baseballs, we're here after watching this unbelievable 18-inning game. We're asking you, is that the greatest World Series game of all time? And is Shohei Ohtani the best player of all time? I mean, there's a chance, Pearl, where Ohtani, as I said, the 2 home runs, the 2 doubles, the 5 walks. Obviously, he has 3 multi-homer games in one postseason. First player to ever do it, okay? He has a chance to make this beyond all time. I think to almost put distance between himself and Babe Ruth, as sacrilegious as that is to say, because he's taking the mound tonight in a matter of hours with a bullpen that just got completely destroyed on both sides. So Shane Bieber's got a similar kind of assignment tonight. But if Shohei Ohtani, the last time we saw him pitch, 6 innings, 10 Ks, the 3 home runs to match it on the other side. If Ohtani has another all-time pitching performance, Pearl, I don't even think there's a debate anymore about whether he's the greatest of all time. I think no disrespect to the legacy of Babe Ruth, but come on. I mean, he will have, in this modern era, have put a canyon between himself and Babe Ruth.
Do you know Babe Ruth's World Series ERA, by the way? In 3 starts, .87.
Again.
If Babe Ruth had TikTok around, I think Babe Ruth would have had a better argument. That was
playing
100,
in an integrated era. I mean, it doesn't have to be about TikTok. We can go.
Well, it's 110 years. Yeah, but I don't know if you can. It's totally a good point about the integrated era, but that whatever. He was so far ahead of his peers. Yes. It was crazy. So anyway, I'm not doing a Babe Ruth argument, but do you count steroided up Barry Bonds?
I mean,
because Barry Bonds was, I would argue, would be the one better player. I just pulled up Barry Bonds' stats.
Barry Bonds, and then he's also, Sandy Koufax.
But last night was Barry Bonds. But is he consistently Barry Bonds? I think he's definitely a nudge below peak Barry Bonds. But peak Barry Bonds was ridiculous. Like, that doesn't count, does it? To me, it doesn't count.
I think Shohei, you cannot divorce one from the other because we're watching in this postseason that both are married together. It is a workload, and now you're coming off an 18-inning game where Shohei's on his feet, for 6 hours last night. More, 6 hours and 40 minutes was the official game time. And he's on his feet all night. He's on the bases all night because he's getting walked, all of that stuff. And this is going to be a challenge.
Well, that's what I say. That's a huge if that he's going to have a 8-inning, 1-run game. If he does that, I mean, wow. But that's a really big if because he was on base all night long. He didn't get a rest 9 times. So you're saying if he has a all-time pitching performance, but again, that's a bit of an if.
But I think he's already right there as you can make an argument the greatest player ever. I mean, it's right there. And I think you could back it up very easily. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player ever. Seriously. And imagine if he does this tonight. Because what do we always say, Pearl? And baseball is generally not this way. We do it a little more with football, definitely with basketball. Do it in the postseason. What do you do when you're on the biggest stage? How much does that separate you from your peers? Now, some guys like Ernie Banks never had a shot, right? You never could show you what they could do on the biggest stage. Shohei's getting that shot, and he is making the most of it. Last year, he was injured in the World Series and still was gutting it out. This year, it's been a totally different story with these epic, standalone, platform pedestal performances. And tonight has a chance, I think, to just put himself so far ahead of any other baseball player and even Babe Ruth. So that's where I'm at with it. I don't think it's hyperbole. That was a classic game last night, 18 innings, and the Dodgers winning in a Freddie Freeman walk-off.
Okay, I'll nitpick a little. He didn't do anything against the Phillies, and they were in a actually much harder position in that series. Like, that series came down to 3 close games, and Shohei had a bad series. So does that count? I mean, because baseball playoffs are basically the postseason is a second season now. Of course, he's going to have all these guys are setting all-time records because back in the day they had 1 series. Now you have 4. So actually, wild card, 4. So basically, Shohei didn't show up against the Phillies. Does that count against him? If you're trying to again, I'm totally nitpicking, and he's been a little bit inconsistent at the plate. Even in this series, he was cold.
But he's had now 2 multi-homer games.
2 games. One, they were up 3-0, and this game. If you make the whole plane out of these 2 games, then it's the greatest. But
I don't know. I think you're being completely unfair. Completely unfair. It's baseball. You don't go 4 for 4 in every single postseason game. And the fact of the matter is, you were able to pitch around him. I mean, you almost have to pitch around him. And even in that game against the Phillies, and the Phillies also have a really good team and had a really great pitching staff this year. So no, that doesn't matter to me. We're deep now into. This is it. And look at what he did last night. Again, had to be only topped by Freddie Freeman hitting yet another walk-off, just like he did last year in the World Series Game 1. It's crazy. Just crazy.
Even in this series. So this series, he had entered last night's game 2 for 8 with only 1 walk. So it's been mixed. It hasn't been he's not like this every game. He's definitely like that in Dodger Stadium. That's a big factor. You can see he is a machine in that. Obviously, the short right field with the homer last night. That's not going out of most parks. It's a little Jeter Yankee Stadium-ish. I'm just nitpicking, and I know people are going to hate that.
What?
But,
excuse you?
Jeter, 90% of his home runs were just over the second baseman's head, over that short right porch in Yankee Stadium. Shohei's got a little bit of Dodger Stadium.
Dodger Stadium is not a pitcher's ball. It's not here.
But he's perfect for it because that first home run last night, that was short to right. Dodger Stadium,
it's not known to be. It's not Philly,
it fits him well.
which is a bandbox.
Yeah.
It's not Cincinnati, which is basically a bandbox also, or the short porch in
But it's supposed to be.
Either.
First of all, it's supposed to be warmer come October, and it wasn't really last night. A lot of home runs, a lot of balls, if it was warmer last night, would have gone out. Did you notice that?
Two of Shohei's did.
So many, so many of the balls got up in the air and then hit the warning track. That's part of the reason I think they went into the middle of the night. I think Freeman, there were a couple where I was like, oh, well, that's it. Well, that's it. That's it.
Well, not just that. So there were a couple of balls that died in Chavez Ravine because it was unseasonably cold, I guess. It's in the 60s last night because the game went into
spare me. The 60s.
Well, we're talking about
don't put your Northeast.
Yeah, let me get my Parker ready.
We're kind of used to that thing here. But listen, cold for them. And cold for baseball, I guess. But the other part, too, is the amount of plays that were made in the field. The defensive, you could either say it was maybe a little over-aggressive at times to be sending guys. We saw a lot of third outs at third base and at home plate.
Schneider almost got there.
I mean,
he was only out by 9 feet at home plate. That looked like me running, by the way, Maggie. Was that the 12th inning? Whatever inning that was when the Blue Jays... Schneider got caught at the plate. That was terrible.
Yeah, there were 6 players thrown out on the bases. Now, it started early because one of them was Bo Bichette, who got picked off because he thought that Dalton DeVarsho had walked, but it turns out he struck out.
What's the ump doing?
And the ump is in the wrong there. That ball, that strike call not only was wrong, it was also late. And so now when they have automatic balls and strikes, nobody is going to miss these umpires. Like, when I tell you, not one person will miss umpires. Because we will not have BS like that. Anyway, that was the beginning, second inning. We still had 6.5 hours of baseball left. But you had so many plays at third and at home, which also kept this game tied at points and led to an 18-inning thriller. Let's hear from Freddie Freeman. He's the one who had the walk-off. Again, only person in baseball history with multi-walk-off home runs in the World Series. He says that Shohei's game should not be overshadowed just because he hit the walk-off.
Shohei's game, I hope we don't lose sight of getting on. Our starting pitcher tomorrow got on base 9 times tonight. Just incredible. It's just kind of how when you're that hot and you're hitting balls right center, left center, like Shohei was tonight, you just knew he was feeling good. So, that's the right move. You don't want Shohei to beat you and let other guys try and beat you after his first 4 at-bats, and it took a lot longer, but we finally did it.
I got some more Shohei for you, and I agree with Freeman, by the way. Shohei, first player with 3 multi-home run games in a single postseason, as I mentioned. Tied the Dodger record for most home runs in a single postseason with 8, and his 8 home runs also tied for the second most in a single postseason ever. Randy Arozarena has 10. Reached base safely 9 times. That ties an MLB record.
9 times?
Yeah, 9 times. First player with multiple games with 12-plus total bases in a single postseason. Only other player with 2 such games in a postseason career is Babe Ruth. It goes on and on. The 4 extra base hits, as I said, which is tied for the most extra base hits in a World Series game. Last guy who did it, 1906. It's just... I don't know how you can make a case for someone else. Because even if you make the case for Barry Bonds being the better player, right?
Well, obviously, though. Barry Bonds, you ever seen his numbers?
No, I understand. Yeah. He didn't pitch. This is a totally separate category to me. And like Freddie Freeman just said it, you just got, a multi-homer game and 2 doubles from the guy who's going to take the mound tonight.
9-time MVP.
The 9-time MVP. He might actually be a 9-time.
The only asterisk I would put on that take is you got to see him pitch tonight. I think we can say that safely. I don't think it's going to happen because he's nasty right now on the mound, but what if he is tired and he has a bad night, which nobody would kill him for, by the way. The guy was up till the middle of the night being on base. So I think maybe we wait a day on the pitching take.
The fact that he's going to take the ball, unless he gets lit up in the first inning for 5 runs, I think whatever you give your team, and I actually think, listen, not to be like just the predictor here, but he is very different from anyone else. Like, clearly he has this type of stamina that many people do not have or players don't have. And you had a bullpen last night that just got completely taxed. Will Klein? Who is Will Klein? We barely know this guy.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto was warming up in like the 15th, 16th inning. He threw 100-plus pitches 2 days before.
I know. Well, Bieber might have had to gone up, and maybe you could argue Bieber maybe should have gone up if you really thought this was the pivotal game. But anyway, he's going to pitch tonight for the Blue Jays. I mean, you had performances, Pearl, coming out of the bullpen of guys who we've never heard of before or barely heard of before. Shohei is the superstar. He's the face of the league. These are the times when you put the team on your back, not to be so cliched, but I think he's up for that, you know?
Well, I mean, he's, again, one thing, though, he has definitely been hot and cold in this postseason. Maybe he's getting hot. Even so, he had 3 home runs in game. What was the last game?
That was the closeout game,
yeah.
against the Brewers.
Yeah, it was a closeout game where they were up 3-0. Anyway, that I keep hearing the word closeout game like it's a challenge when you're up 3-0, even though only one team has ever come back from 3-0. Then he was not the same batter in game 1 against Toronto. So he hasn't been like every game like that. It's been certain games. So we'll see. Just can you wait a day? No, I'm not going to wait a day.
I mean, I'm just in awe. You want to wait a day to what?
You
see him fail?
I just get nervous about greatest of all time of someone we're currently seeing. Maybe, my instinct is like, oh, okay, that you are often, not you, but everyone is prone to immediacy bias. And listen, Shohei it's going to be hard to top him. I will admit that. But you're almost as saying like, oh, he's already got this 8-inning, complete game performance tonight. Maybe wait to declare the pitching part. Maybe not. Maybe you could declare, but just because he's taking the ball, like, listen, I could take the ball. I would just let up 4 home runs in the first inning.
Yeah. I have a question for you because that's interesting. Can you call someone the greatest of all time while they're currently playing?
You can.
Did you do it for Michael Jordan? I have a feeling you did.
Yeah, but it took a long time. I mean, it really took. And even then, there was Russell and Wilt.
Give me a year. When did you concede? When did you say for the first time, Michael Jordan? What year was it?
Well, I was a big Jordan stan from 1988 on, so it's kind of hard. Again, though, I do feel like often, you know what, this kind of
Barry
argument.
Bonds would also be one that people were calling the greatest. The thing about
but
Barry,
everyone even kind of suspected that this was
tinged.
weird.
It was very
it wasn't even
beyond
just
tinged.
It wasn't even the steroids. It was the elbow pads that really got me. I'm like, the guy's a fortress up there. Like he's dressed like a super trooper. Like how is he supposed to? But but you know what I mean. Like I just generally sometimes we do the great debate on Wednesday. We have these historical debates. And I always get nervous if it's something from this millennium because I'm like, oh, we didn't see Babe Ruth. It's hard. We didn't see Willie Mays in his prime. So that's why I sometimes slow down on those ones. But listen, I mean, come on. I totally understand what you're saying. It's not like I'm like, well, I haven't really seen enough from Shohei yet. He was on base 9 times last night. It's
amazing. I don't have a problem. I just think the fact that this guy now has to take the ball tonight, just insane. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. What do you see? All-time game. Yeah,
9-time MVP.
He might actually do that. That's a silly clip from a Hallmark movie.
9-time MVP.
Movie for chicks about Travis Kelce. Kelce, how about him last night? Coming up with a big reception and run.
He looked like a 9-time MVP.
Yeah, speaking of which, so they just never show Taylor at all anymore? We went from her after every played, and now we just never see her?
Wait, was she there last night?
Great question.
Who cares?
I don't know.
Yeah, that game.
I was thinking about it. 888-710-4ISN.
It was 28-7. Who cares?
Well, first of all, the game shouldn't have been that score. But if Jada Daniels was playing, she definitely would have been there. She's like, I've seen Mariota too many times.
Absolutely, she's a ball knower. She's
yeah,
I saw him in Tennessee. I'm good.
Like I was there, wild card round. Marcus Mariota threw and caught his own touchdown pass.
Oh, she loves Tennessee.
I was there the first game of Mariota's career. It was 1 versus 2, Jameis versus Mariota, and there was so much hope about those two guys. Oh my God, I think it was 2013.
Still on rosters.
I'm impressed that you remembered he was in Tennessee to start. Because he's been everywhere. He was an Eagle.
Yeah, I found that out yesterday.
Let's get it going on this baseball because we want to hear from you. And we're on coast to coast. So for the people in Los Angeles and the Dodger fans in our audience, was last night the greatest World Series game? Because you've got a couple. You've got Freddie Freeman game 1 last year, and of course you've got Kirk Gibson as one of your all-timers as well.
Yeah,
and you got Sandy Koufax if you want to go all the way back.
Kirk Gibson, is that more of a game or a moment? I still...
That's a moment for Kirk.
Yeah, but it's also a great game. That was a dominant A's team. That was historically, you got to consider who it was off of. Yep. It was off of Eck.
Yep.
So that's the kind of debate I think we're having today because it's certainly, we're going to be talking about this game for 50 years.
Better than, you name it. You want to go Mets, Red Sox?
Bill Buckner, you mean?
Yeah, as far as greatest games are concerned.
Yeah. I don't call that
baseball?
In baseball, in World Series history.
Right. I don't call that the Mets-Red Sox game. You got to be more specific.
Sorry, the Bill
Buckner game.
The Jack Morris game. What else do you want to
Kirby
do?
game.
The Rangers Cardinals had some classics in
What?
their series too.
The Rangers?
David
Cardinals?
Freese game is what you got to call it.
Come on, Pearl.
Oh, the David Freese game. Got it.
Yeah. We got to do names for Pearl. We can't do the teams, just the players that.
Again, though, a little recency bias. We got another 148 years to consider.
Real quick, Pearl, how about our favorite little Mexican, Alejandro Kirk? Another home run for him yesterday.
Oh, my God. He's Manny and I have a side text chain about how much we love Alejandro Kirk, and I'm all in. Favorite player. That guy
Bill Mazeroski?
That guy should be a 1993 Philadelphia Philly. He would have fit in. Like, he is gritty. That's the word. The whole Blue Jays team is super gritty. That's the funny thing. You have this glamorous Dodgers team and this gritty Blue Jays team.
Well, they made it a little harder on themselves last night, and it doesn't look like George Springer.
Yeah,
I wouldn't expect to see him back.
That's
and
a killer.
He's their guy with the experience, obviously, and he's been so good at the plate. This is tough because this grit is awesome until you have to start really going to your bench, which the Blue Jays had to last night with 4 different pitch runners.
Yeah. I mean, the Blue Jays should have came out with a win last night. That's the frustrating thing. They should have.
Should they have?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly they should not have thrown to Shohei in the whatever he hit the home
Any
run.
of his 9 ABs, 9 plate appearances.
I mean,
that's a mistake because the manager came out to tell Sir Anthony Dominguez, don't pitch to him,
and
he did it anyway.
He missed.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that was a
Spike
mistake.
it, dude. Put it in the dirt. Put it in the first row. Put it in Jason Bateman's lap.
Yeah, I mean, they had the
something.
lead for most of the regulation. That was their opportunity. I really believe that it was 1-1, up 4-1, and then up 5-4. Yeah, it's going to hurt.
We're excited around here because that was a fun game. We've got so much more to get to, including more news coming out of LSU regarding Brian Kelly. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
All right, Maggie.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough because we're a little worn down by that. Can we still pick something? Is last night's game still going on? But Prize Picks is the best way to enjoy tonight's action. Tonight you have baseball again, and you have tons of NBA, including guess who showed up on my Prize Picks app? Jalen Brunson. Hello, he's here. So you got baseball, basketball. The app is so simple to use. You just pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projections. If you're right, you could win big.
Okay, so looking at tonight, Vlad Guerrero, a 6.5 hitter fantasy score. If you're a Blue Jays fan, you got to hope that number is more than 6.5 because you're going to need every bit of Vlad Guerrero and his power. How about that with a little Macklin Celebrini Pro, one of your favorite San Jose Sharks, more than 20.5 minutes on ice.
You could also do a GOAT combo here with Connor McDavid and Shohei.
Oh, I love that. Connor McDavid, more than 22.5 minutes on the ice, and Shohei, a 7.5 hitter fantasy score. I actually might fade that a little bit just because he's going to be on the mound tonight, which is just insane.
By the way, I can't help myself. I'm going more points for Zach LaVine, 20.5. Hello. One of my favorite players. Not quite in the GOAT conversation.
I was going to say, which one of these things is not like the other? But that's the beauty of Prize Picks. It's so fun. Any combination you want right there for you. Just download the Prize Picks app today and use the code MNP. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks to get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. So win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P. You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie Perloff Show. A couple things I want to bring up. Clayton Kershaw, I think, with his one at bat, getting out one batter with the bases loaded in the 12th. All the bad stuff in the postseason, it's gone now. He's going to go out on that note. Positive one at bat.
It was a big one, actually.
Yeah.
Bases loaded, 2 outs.
Yeah, and by the way, it was a nice play by the second baseman to scoop because that was a slow roller. I was happy for Clayton Kershaw. I'm a big fan of. But I'm sorry, I have to go back to Shohei for a second. I have two questions for you, Maggie.
Okay. Shohei last night,
yeah.
2 home runs, 2 doubles, 5 walks. 4 of them were intentional. 18 innings. Dodgers win. They're up 2-1. And now Shohei takes the ball tonight as their starting pitcher.
Okay. 2 questions.
Yeah.
Do the Dodgers get to the World Series if Shohei didn't pitch during the season?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, he won 1 game.
Yeah.
He was 1-1 on the season. Played,
but a pitcher's win-loss record is not indicative.
Had 14 starts. It made no impact on them making the playoffs.
You can't say that, bro.
I mean, it made no impact.
That feels unfair.
That's not
fair.
fair.
It was 1-1. I mean, they had to ramp up.
That's not the measure. A win-loss is not the measure of, because think of all the innings that he's pitching that saves the bullpen or that saves another starter, that allows them to stretch out to have a 6-man rotation that keeps everybody healthy. You can't just say the record.
So you think his pitching was a big reason that they got through this regular season?
I think everything contributes.
Yeah, okay. Did they beat the Brewers because of Shohei's pitching? Did they get through that series because of Shohei's pitching?
It was a sweep. He took the ball one time and struck out 10 guys.
I was just asking for a yes or no.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Would they have? So they wouldn't have beaten the Brewers if Shohei didn't take them out, because we know that's not true. They were up 3-0 without him on the mound. So obviously, by the way, he pitched 47 innings in this regular season. And then here's another question too. He hasn't taken the mound yet, and they're still up 2-1. So all I'm saying is Shohei's pitching is amazing. It makes him the greatest of all time, but it's a little bit of gravy for this team. I don't think that's going to be the reason that they win the World Series. That's my opinion.
Okay, but then you're kind of just being really reductive to saying that one person wins a World Series, because that's not true, right? Like, or you're setting a standard that's kind of like Steven Strasburg, or one of these guys who has to come in on, or Madison Bumgarner comes in on 2 days rest and throws another 5 or 6 innings. Like, things haven't materialized to that point yet, but to say that, if you could say that about literally every single guy on the roster, that's not how baseball works.
No, but
one person never wins an entire series.
No, but he wasn't a super impactful starting pitcher during the regular season. That's
because he was hurt and they slow played it because they have a dream team.
I'm just saying, right? Exactly. Like the Dodgers are going to win with or without Shohei on the mound. That's my only point.
But why? I just don't understand using that as a way to cut down what we're seeing. Or to chop, basically to minimize what he's doing.
Well, I just don't want to take the Dodgers are going to beat the Blue Jays because Shohei is a hitter and a pitcher. Because that's not that.
Okay, the Yankees could have won these World Series without Mariano Rivera closing them out. Does that not make him one of the greatest closer of all time? Just because you could have won doesn't mean that a guy's impact wasn't felt.
Well, I'm not sure that analogy totally works, but. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't want 30 years from now the Dodgers beat the Blue Jays because Shohei was pitching. This because, by the way, that could be the case after tonight, but generally that's the Dodgers are here because they have a dream team and Shohei's the best hitter on planet Earth, not because he's a pitcher.
But even going back to his regular season, I mean, you say he was 1-1, but all of his other numbers are phenomenal as a starting pitcher.
Pitched 47 innings.
Right, but he has a 2.8 ERA. His WHIP is 1.043.
I understand he was great when he was out there, but he just wasn't out there that much.
But 14 starts down the stretch is not nothing. They needed him to start those games.
Well, he started earlier, by the way. They were all down the stretch.
I mean, it was May or June. Starting the rest of the season and the most important games is not nothing.
We all agree to disagree then, I guess.
I mean, he pitched well?
He was fine, but he just didn't pitch that much during the season. My statement is the Dodgers would be here if Shohei never took them out, and that is, I think, absolutely true.
All right, so how many games does Shohei have to start for you to give him some credit for his work on the bump?
Does he need to make 30 starts?
Yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers are going to win anyway. If he had just been a hitter, they would win this World Series.
Okay, but last night, the second home run that he hits ties the game.
Yeah.
That's... I know you love to minimize Shohei's home runs, that they're Alex Rodriguez where they're up 8-0.
No,
but last night's home run is not that, right?
No, I didn't say nothing about the home runs. I said if Shohei was never a pitcher, the Dodgers are still going to be back-to-back champions.
Well, I don't know if you can say that. Because we have to see how the series plays out. Got to see what happens tonight. And I know that you minimize a closeout game against the Brewers, but that was a big deal because you want to know why? It saves everybody. They had 10 days off before the World Series, which I wasn't sure if that was actually going to be a negative.
So, I mean,
but for the pitching staff, it's always good.
How did it save people? Because they would have had 10 days off anyway.
No, but they don't have to go deep. No, they wouldn't have. They would have to go deeper into the series.
Oh, you're saying because he got them that
them.
big rest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't really know what that. Anyway, by the way, that's not necessarily denigrating Shohei. I'm just saying they don't need him to pitch to win the World Series. They have Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts and Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell and the best pitcher in the baseball, Yamamoto. So they have some weapons.
All right, that's fine. Then criticize Shohei for joining a dream team. Then I think that's your criticism, right?
I'm not criticizing. I'm just stating a fact.
You are definitely criticizing.
I'm just stating a fact. I'm not criticizing anybody.
Well, you're stating an opinion. But I think that you have a problem with the Dodgers. You have a problem with the payroll. You have a problem with them being a super team.
No problem.
No, it seems like you do because you're basically saying Shohei doesn't matter because the team is so good.
Shohei as a hitter matters.
I don't know. Why don't you go to last year then? I'll make your argument for you. He
Yeah,
couldn't
so-
hit last year. He had his arm in a sling and they still won.
No. Shohei is a hitter, definitely is a huge impact on this team.
No. But I'll make your argument for you. He was in a sling last year.
Yeah, no, I know they won last year without
And
him.
he could barely hit last year. So
Right,
really
but-
what you're saying is he has no impact on this team at all.
No, I'm definitely not saying that. He is a big impact as a hitter, but his pitching is, to me, just extra. It's nice, but I think that history will show, the Dodgers won this because Shohei took the mound. And by the way, it probably will be awesome night just to jinx me. But I don't think they really need him pitching to get out of here. Obviously, they won last year without him pitching. So pitching is amazing, but that's not the defining characteristic to me of Shohei Ohtani. The guy got on base 9 times last night.
Yeah, it was epic. 18 innings, 9 times. Ken's in Baltimore. Ken, what do you got on Shohei?
Hey, Maggie, let me start off. Let's always go back to me, you, and Moose.
Ken, wow, it's been many, many years since we were doing Saturday mornings here on this network. Good to hear from you, pal.
Absolutely, and I miss you. I miss Moose and us.
Yeah.
I love all you
had
guys.
something.
Hey, we had something, yeah. Hey, Maggie, I wish I was taking your place against Perloff. Perloff, take this L, man. Take this L. You are completely hating on Shohei. We're talking about an individual ball player that's doing things no one else can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you go back to Barry Bonds, do you remember Barry Bonds when he was with the Pirates and they was in the World Series against Atlanta?
Oh, yeah. That wasn't the World Series, but yeah.
Oh, whatever, a playoff.
Yeah, the playoffs.
He did
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yep. That's because he hadn't taken steroids yet.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't we put Shohei on steroids and see what he would do based on what he's doing now?
Well, yeah.
You know,
by the way, Barry's not my guy, Ken, just to be clear.
Yeah.
But so let me ask you, are you the same as Maggie? Is it the pitching that distinguishes Shohei in any GOAT conversation?
Oh, you asking me? Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah.
Any man that can go up there in any type of game and deliver is a what? You call him a two-way player or whatever? Barry Bonds cannot do that. I keep going back to Barry Bonds because I remember Barry Bonds couldn't be stopped when he was with San Francisco. That's because he was on the steroid. He wasn't doing that when he was with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and also remember, many of Michael Jordan games, Paxton or somebody else took that last shot. Always remember that too. So Shohei is part of this group of players, but as an individual, this man is incredible. Everybody here at work, I'm making a UA call. Everybody here at work is talking about this man is AI. He's created in a lab. It's ridiculous.
I know. Ken, thanks for the call. Good to hear from you, pal. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, Pearl, that maybe this Dodgers team is just so inevitable anyway. But can I take back to another argument that you like to make, which is about there's no favorites anymore in baseball because baseball is so crazy in the postseason? Like, I think maybe this argues against it. I mean, you're talking about the super team, and the Dodgers look like they are now in the driver's seat to win
on the steroid
back-to-back World Series, and this begins a dynasty.
Well,
And
I would say this series is close. I mean, last night, again, the Blue Jays had a late lead, an early lead. And this series has really been so far. It went 18 innings last night. It's been on a razor's edge.
I know, I love it, but for best of 7 games, the Game 3 winner does go on to win the series 70% of the time. So I'm just playing the percentage. I love the Blue Jays, but without George Springer, if he's hurt, it's going to be much tougher.
And the Dodgers are crazy. I mean, listen, I am willing to see that Shohei Ohtani is the second best athlete alive.
Who's the first, Pearl?
When Wemby goes 82-0, it's going to be Wemby. I mean, we're talking Wemby, Shohei here, and maybe Connor McDavid. No, I'm kidding. Of course, Shohei's. I am not trying to denigrate Shohei. I'm just not. We have this argument forever. The pitching is great. That is not necessarily what makes him such a super impactful player. That's not why he's a 4-time MVP.
Let's can we do this, Bogues? I know you're dying to get in here because I know you want to talk about this, but we went too long. Can we take a quick break? We'll come back with headlines. I think there's smoke coming out of Bogus's ears about the Shohei Ohtani conversation. Is he already the greatest of all time?
That red?
Yes, actually, yeah, makes me nervous.
And is the pitching, how do you want to put this, Pearl? I mean, you're saying, is the pitching matter? It's kind of what you're saying, right? The pitching doesn't matter for Shohei.
Like for a poll?
Yeah, for a poll.
Which,
well, he's going to, like always, he's
how about
going
just
to
Shohei
word
the
it.
greatest player of all time? Why don't we do that?
Yes, no, perfect. Is Shohei Ohtani already the greatest baseball player of all time? We'll take a quick break. We'll come on back. Bogusch has got the latest headlines for us and everything from this wild 18-inning game last night. It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
And the Dodgers, Blue Jays also, Kendrick Drake, LA up 2-1. And in the Kendrick Drake, I think Kendrick's up like 1,000,000-0.
Is Drake involved with this Blue Jays team a lot?
He was not necessarily involved, but he was at game 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
He was at one of the games in Toronto.
He was.
Meanwhile, game last night was longer than any music concert would ever be. 6 hours, 40 minutes.
Let me check the Grateful Dead rolls. Hold on.
Yeah, maybe the Dead, Springsteen. Who's
Take
else?
that, T Swift.
Who's known for these long Taylor, you're right, the 4-hour concerts. Anyway, 6 hours, 40 minutes. Not the longest World Series game ever, but crazy. 18 innings, and the Dodgers prevail 2-1. Get to Bogish's update in just a moment, but JT's in Atlanta. Hasn't slept yet? JT, you animal.
Yes, no, I have not slept. I mean, it was like 4 or 5 times during that game, I felt like my heart was gonna, give me palpitations. And so I was like, especially when they brought Kershaw in, that was so maddening to me that I just didn't know what to do with myself. I couldn't stop. Now, first off, Perloff, your argument, I'm telling you, it's like marriage counseling, revisited. I'm telling you, your argument has no legs, right? Because the reality is, why not say Glasnow's pitching has no effect? Because without Glasnow, we would still make it to the postseason, right? Like we could still do.
Glasnow
like,
destroyed the Phillies. He killed the Phillies.
You could take out what did Ohtani do?
Ohtani did nothing against the Phillies. He didn't have a good series.
Okay, so you could take out anybody, right?
Yeah.
And say without this person, would they still probably make it through? Yeah. I mean, you could look what's Mookie been doing. You could say without Mookie, we wouldn't make it, right? I mean, so you could just pick any random player and do this exercise, and it wouldn't really hold water.
JT, I'm talking about the pitching because I'm not denigrating Shohei's hitting. I'm just saying, do you really need him pitching to win this whole thing? And I just think I know how this works. In 10 years, people will be like, Shohei pitched the Dodgers to the World Series. We'll forget that he had one great game so far as a pitcher. He'll probably have a second now, but I think pitching is amazing. We're arguing, Maggie makes some good points about the actual impact of his pitching is nothing like the impact of his hitting.
Well, okay, we can, like you said, we can all disagree with this. What I want to talk about really is there was so many like ups and downs and missed opportunities. Like I think there was 37 people left on base, and we were going to all remember the great plays that Edman made. But he had an error too that led to the 3 runs, right? Like he was part of that issue in the beginning. He had some making up to do. There was, base running errors, people being thrown out at home, multiple times people being thrown out at third base. It was just a crazy game. And the biggest part, like for me, that wasn't, sure, Shohei is going to get all the credit. Sure, obviously, Freeman's going to get all the credit. But Klein pitching 70-something innings, 70-something pitches is ridiculous. I mean, he held it on because we didn't have anything after him. We were actually about to go to Yamamoto, and that's another big thing. Freddie ending it when he did saved our rotation on the front end, because now we can still use Yamamoto in the way we were going to use him before.
JT,
if he came in,
it's just crazy. I mean, you're right about that. Will Klein ends up being one of the unsung heroes of this game. And thank you, JT. Get some sleep, sir. We love you calling on no sleep, and I get how excited Dodger fans are. But Will Klein had never thrown more than like 30 pitches in an outing ever, and then is asked to put 70 plus up in a World Series game with everything on the line.
Against a good lineup for the most part, although it's a little watered down at that point.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Blue Jays, whether it was because of injury or some of the decisions they made, the lineup they started with was not the lineup they ended with, and when they needed the big hit, they couldn't get it. Also, you had a bad send late in that game where you had Vlad Guerrero Jr. on deck, and the third base coach for the Blue Jays sent, I forgot who it was.
Schneider. Right?
Was it Schneider? Yeah. David Schneider, and he got thrown out. He got thrown out at home. So that was.
What was the number? How many guys got thrown out last night? We had it in the
6.
6. Oh my God.
Yep. Let's get to Bogish. Scott, the latest. Yo.
By the way, the old Google machine says the longest Grateful Dead show on record was 4 hours and 41 minutes.
Good heavens.
Not including set breaks. So you were there for, that's probably takes you past 5 hours of actual time.
It's into like the 13th inning, maybe?
Yeah.
What a day for concessions at that place.
Their opera is like, isn't Wagner's famous The Three Rings, like 18 hours, 20 hours?
No, that's, yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Saw that twice.
I'm dead serious.
Who was
Like
that?
you have to, back in the day, you had to do 24-hour shows.
Oh.
Yeah, the Dodgers would have loved that.
Your headlines are sponsored by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks and use code PRIMETIME.
Katie's off the chain.
And get $50 in bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. Yes, those Dodgers and Blue Jays and Manny played until almost 3 a.m. Eastern. Game 3 of this World Series, going 17 and a half innings plus one Freddie Freeman.
Los Angeles. Freeman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the clock strikes midnight. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
The Dodgers taking a 2-1 lead with a 6-5 win. That was Joe Davis on Fox. Freeman with the game-winning solo shot 367 days after he ended Game 1 of last year's World Series with that grand slam.
To have it happen again a year later to hit another walk-off, I don't. It's kind of amazing, crazy, and I'm just glad we won. And we're up 2-1, and we got our Shohei on the mound tomorrow.
Yeah, Shohei.
Don't recall that.
Shohei will pitch after his epic Game 3, 4 extra base hits, 2 homers, 2 doubles, then 5 walks, 4 of them intentional. His solo homer bottom 7 tied the game. That was the last run before Freeman's homer. Game 4 again slated to start shortly after 5 Pacific today. The Commanders might have been home from KC by the time the Dodgers won last night. Washington taking a 28-7 loss from the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Marcus Mariota threw 2 picks, could not produce any second-half points.
At the end of the day, when you're not converting our drives against this type of team, it's tough because they'll get going. And I thought our defense did a great job of holding it off and making plays. Creating turnovers, we just didn't do our part on offense.
Neither team played well early, but the Chiefs scored 21 after halftime. Patrick Mahomes throwing touchdowns to Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice, and Kareem Hunt. And unless they're messing with us again, the Ravens expect Lamar Jackson to return from his hamstring injury on Thursday night against the Dolphins.
Are the Ravens sure?
For now, they are.
All right.
It's very early, though. It's only, is it even Wednesday yet? I'm confused. What day is it?
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
Great.
It just feels like Wednesday because we watched a doubleheader last night of a baseball
I didn't.
game.
I saw the 6th inning.
Yeah, you guys. I was the only one that was burning the midnight oil. I know
You're
all
an
you
idiot.
guys. Yeah, but who cares about that part? I love baseball. That's the thing. I love the sport more than each and every one of you guys. That's why I stayed up until 2:51 Eastern time, getting flashbacks, watching Freddie Freeman round the bases again for another damn walk-off.
You stay up because you're the youngest and you're high on Zins.
And your circadian rhythms are different. I was thinking about this. So Shohei, I know, and we're all going to start asking for him. But Shohei famously, Pearl, gets 10 hours of sleep every single night, which you shouldn't say around people who do a morning show because it feels like you're trolling us. But Can you get 10 hours of sleep? That game ends. What time Pacific did that game
Just
end?
about midnight.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, right. You just heard the call from Joe Davis.
What time does it start? To 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock. But you got to get Shohei's got a whole pregame routine that's very
probably fired
involved.
up after last night, too.
And you're pitching. So you got double a pregame routine, I imagine. So you got to get to the ballpark nice and early.
So if the game ended at midnight,
Traffic in LA.
Probably couldn't get to bed till 3 o'clock. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
And fall asleep. So 10 hours, help me out. 1 o'clock. Oof, this
Sleep
is close.
till 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
He's not getting that.
No way.
Nope.
What a life.
By the way, I'm the only one here who was glued in the football game. I had a big fantasy game coming down to Krosky Merritt versus Harrison Butker.
How'd it go?
Oof.
Not good.
Sexy.
Move over, Shohei.
Bill against Harrison.
Coming up, we do have the biggest takeaway from that football game last night. It's Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
160キロ近いフォーシームがあります。左中間、これもいった。今日2発目、吠えた大谷、同点ホームラン。ドジャースまた追いつきました。5対5、4安打今日すべて長打。
Couldn't have said it better ourselves. That was NHK Radio, the Shohei Ohtani television game-tying solo home run in the 7th inning, made it 5-5, and then the game went on from there, Pearl. 18 innings, and the Dodgers prevailed 2-1 on a Freddie Freeman walk-off solo home run. He's now the first player in the history of the sport to have walk-off home runs in World Series history. You'll recall Game 1 last year, the Grand Slam, and now last night, the Dodgers are up 2-1.
It's funny. Freddie Freeman is a great player, obviously MVP caliber player. He's going to get a little Eli Manning reputation where it's like he's also going to be known as a World Series hero. Totally different discussion than Shohei Ohtani. I think his ultimate legacy will be these postseasons, the last 2 postseasons, because especially last year when he was
Atlanta.
Last year when he was injured and did that. Was he actually? I'd have to look at his stats in Atlanta for 2021.
Freeman is first ballot.
He's first ballot, but I think it's skews more towards his postseason differentiating him as an all-time guy. Or do you think it's both?
Baseball is weird like that.
Yeah.
I think baseball is maybe the one sport where we actually do honor both, where the regular season does mean something because the sheer volume of the numbers, and then the postseason means even more. But you can't hold it against guys. Like, let's say Shohei Ohtani had pitched for the Angels for his entire career.
Oh, like Mike Trout.
Like Mike Trout.
Yeah.
And Mike Trout is going to walk into the Hall of Fame also. It's not going to be a question. I think it actually is the one sport where we honor the regular season. Think of all the times that you've called an MVP fraudulent because, let's say, basketball, for example. They have a great regular season, but then the postseason they come up short, and it always feels like a bit of a disappointment.
Right, but there's certain players, I think, who have postseason reputations. Bob Gibson famously. Sure. I think Freeman is going to be, you're going to put in the first paragraph of his great player, MVP. It was a runner-up for MVP multiple times. World Series hero.
To me, the question now is Shohei already the greatest of all time? So last night, Shohei, you heard that was the game-tying home run. 2 homers in last night's game. He also had 2 doubles. He was walked 5 times. 4 of them were intentional. He was on base 9 times and had 12 total bases. He's the first person ever to have 3 multi-homer games in a single postseason. It's unbelievable what he's doing. And by the way, going to take the mound tonight to pitch in a game where he could really put the team on his back because of the 10 pitchers that they needed to get through that game last night. 18 innings, your bullpen's obviously on fumes.
Can I say one thing about Shohei, too? We're talking about his legacy is maybe great. He is fast as lightning, too. We don't even talk about the fact that not only is he a slugger and a pitcher, He's an amazing base runner.
Yeah, he's 5'2". I mean, I guess we don't see his defense
No, he's 6
nearly
tools.
enough.
He's 6 tools.
6 tools.
Yeah, you're shorting him a tool.
And to think about it, he's not even just a pitcher who's got like 1 or 2 pitches. Like he's got a full starter's arsenal of everything.
He's like a
9 pitches.
6'5" right-handed Chris Sale. Like the ball looks like a video game. No, I know. I just think it's fun. How many stolen bases did he have last year? Like the guy is like, what is there something he can't do? I guess he's not a Gold Glove shortstop yet. Let's put a yet on that one.
Give him a minute. Okay, so you got a couple different cool Ohtani facts here. The 4 extra base hits in his first 4 plate appearance, tied for the most extra base hits in a World Series game. The last person to do it was Frank Isbell. You remember him?
Oh yeah,
from 1906.
Frankie Isbell. We called him Lefty.
Yeah,
and he was a righty. It was weird.
Yeah. So obviously I mentioned 2 of the extra base hits were homers. Third time this postseason he has multiple in a game. First player ever to do that in a postseason. What else can I give you here? He's got 8 intentional walks, now tied with 2011 Albert Pujols for the second most in history, trailing only 2002 Barry Bonds, and up to 8 home runs this postseason, tying 2020's Corey Seager for the most in a single postseason in Dodgers history. The only player to hit more home runs in a single postseason is Randy Arozarena, who had 10 in 2020. And Ohtani's 8 are the most out of the leadoff spot. Let's also remember 2020. Very, very different. 60-game season. Guys weren't nearly as taxed as they are now. It was the COVID year. It was totally weird. There was no travel at the time. Very odd.
Well, now, also, too, I mean, obviously, a lot of these records are skewed modern because of the expanded playoffs. So,
no doubt. But also, like in 2020, guys were as fresh as could possibly be. You had other considerations because COVID was crazy and mentally taxing.
But presumably the pitchers were fresh, too. But
fair. I guess the other part, too, Ohtani's 8 home runs, the most out of the leadoff spot. Is there a thought? Because Ohtani, a lot of these home runs are solo shots because he's leading off, right? And because he oftentimes will come up after the bottom of the order, which, generally is not as productive as the top of the order. So, is there a thought to drop him in the lineup a little bit in the batting order? Just to make sure there's more guys on base, like more often?
Well, here's the thing that leadoff, of course he's going to have the all-time record because that's a new thing to move your sluggers to the leadoff spot. It's totally the key sabermetric thing. It's not about what we think it is. It's about producing runs, and obviously having your slugger first or second does more of that.
Yeah, I'm thinking even just drop him to second. I'm not saying drop him to 8th. He's not getting benched. It's not as a negative. I'm saying drop him to maybe second or maybe even third because now he's also getting intentionally walked so much because they don't really have to.
That feels old school though. To drop him.
Spot?
Yeah, I feel like it's like it
Doesn't
feels
Aaron
very
Judge
modern.
Hit second?
Yeah, I guess first or second, but there's a good argument to have him first. They wouldn't do it otherwise. This is an analytic-driven team.
Yeah, no, and they want him up as many times as humanly possible. I get that, but still, there's no one on base when he's getting up for a lot of these solo home runs. You might be able to make things a little easier on yourself.
Yeah, but also, too, it pressures you to throw strikes to the bottom of the lineup, and you get more production out of that because I'm going to put myself in my Phillies fandom. I'm like, oh, crap, the guy's coming up soon. We better get this 7, 8, and 9. Do not walk this guy. So you got to throw them strikes so you get more. I mean, listen, anywhere he's in the lineup is going to be a problem.
That's true. 888.
But the analytics and sabermetrics, I've seen stories on this before, are very strong to put your guy at 1 or 2. That's not a bad idea either.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476, asking you, is Ohtani already the greatest of all time? Let's go to George in L.A. George, what do you got, sir?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, I think he is the greatest of all time right now, and I think he'll become just unbelievable in the future. He's not done yet. And what shocked me last night, I was at the game. I haven't had much sleep either, but the thing is the people stayed last night. Usually the Dodger fans are famous for leaving early.
Everyone in their seats, all the celebrities glued in. George, what was describe when Freddie Freeman hit that walk-off. What was it like?
It was unbelievable. It was the loudest I've ever heard Dodger Stadium. But the thing is, I was worried about is L.A. at night. It's hard to hit the ball out there, man. You got to have some power. It had to be Freddie or Shohei or somebody like that late at night.
How many home runs would have gone out if it had been a little warmer out? How many near home runs?
It would have ended earlier. The shot that Freddie hit the few innings before that would have been a home run.
Yeah, it was too high. It got the air. You could tell things were moving differently.
George, get some
Yeah,
sleep, dude. This is amazing. And I love that, George. Thank you for the call. I love that this is such a LA fan. Like, I don't want to be stereotypical. The LA fans, they say, always arrive late and leave early.
Yeah.
But even George, calling from LA, diehard Dodger fan, said he was most surprised that everyone stayed.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
an
great
epic
point.
game. This is maybe one of the greatest games in World Series history. You can't be worried about the traffic at that point. You got to sacrifice. Like, you're at an all-time game. At that point, like, your next day goes out the window.
Also, they're in Pacific time, so staying to a midnight game is bad, but not like if that was an Eastern time zone game where you're staying till 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
2 a.m., I wish.
Yeah, like that. Like, I think that would have been a different crowd had it been in Toronto, let's say.
I think everyone stays.
For 18 innings?
Oh, Toronto. Do you know how much they're paying for tickets in Toronto? They definitely stay.
That game ended at $250.
Also, the problem is you can't get any alcohol. And a lot of the concessions close at the 7th inning.
Yeah, how does that
I'd be
work?
starving by the end of the game.
But you also can't leave to wait in
sober.
line for a hot dog at that point. It's extra innings.
I think a lot of the concessions just close.
Yeah, I'm saying even if they were open, I would hope that you're not like, all right, well, when are you going to go get concessions?
It's
top of the inning.
It's fortification at that point. I mean, your blood
It's
sugar is
survival.
going to be dropping. Like,
It's survival at that point.
yeah, you start looking at the person next to you like,
In the Dodgers, in one of the dugouts, they had a bunch of fruit on a cutting board.
That's
Keep
smart.
the energy up.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't just do sunflower seeds for 6 hours.
Want to bet?
Watch me. Love
You guys- really?
myself. Oh, I was chopping sunflower seeds last night playing MLB The Show.
You're not a fan of the sunflower seed?
I am, but I mean, not like you guys, clearly. It's way down on the list as far as like baseball snacks.
My mom sent me what had to be like a 2-gallon bag from nuts.com of sunflower seeds.
Free shout out.
Which is, shout out to them. They do all great stuff. But like a 2-gallon bag, I'm like halfway through them.
That's great. You love your nuts. What do you mean it's not a top 2 snack in baseball? Like, there's only how many snacks can you have while playing a baseball game?
They have gigantic things of bubble gum.
Yep.
And
That's not food. That's masticating rubber.
I mean, is a sunflower seed really food?
Yeah, because you're indulging and it's going into your
ingest it.
system. Yes.
All right.
You don't ingest
Manny,
gum.
you strike me as a big soft serve ice cream and a mini helmet guy.
Dude, I drink beer at games. What are you talking about? I drink beer and hot dogs like a man.
Oh, okay. Who doesn't like soft serve in a helmet, dude?
Who
What's
doesn't
wrong with
like
you?
the fact that Shohei Ohtani is pitching and hitting the ball?
That's Perloff, not us. we actually love this sport.
Did
Pearl
he
doesn't-
pitch last night? I'm sorry. Were you up till 3 o'clock watching Shohei pitch?
I was up until 3 a.m. yesterday, but Shohei didn't pitch. If Shohei pitches tonight and he pitches until 4 a.m. Eastern, I'm going to watch it.
By the way, do you think they?
I would hope they pull him before 4 a.m.
Do you think that they thought about it with him last night? Yeah, you can't. Obviously, they got Yamamoto up.
They had
Ooh.
Yamamoto warming up.
I know.
That was their
That, by the
backup
way,
plan.
I don't love that for the Dodgers. Like, this is
No, they saved him last night.
yeah, I know,
Freeman
but even
saved
just
it.
warming him up, like, does that wear him out a little bit to rev that arm up a little bit on how many days was it?
That's 2 days.
2 days,
That's
yeah.
one extra up. That up is
Yeah,
a
because you
baseball
loosen
term.
up. I don't know how much that wears
Yeah.
and tears because obviously he's the he's the monster. Like, you do not if it God forbid got to a game 7 for the Dodgers,
he's got to go.
No, call
well,
up.
maybe it'd be Blake Snell. I don't know.
Do you remember what they called ill-fated manager Mickey Callaway from the Mets once called that? Introductory press conference. I don't know if you're going to remember this. It's kind of a deep cut, but introductory press conference.
Probably
EJ's shaking his
already
head.
shaking his head.
Introductory press conference. This dude gets up in front of the entire media and is like, they're asking him some of the changes that he's going to make. And he's like, we got to, EJ, you want to say it?
No, you got it.
We got to stop dry humping, guys. And everyone's like, I'm sorry, what? What did this dude just say?
The Mickey Callaway years is something I thought I lost and
Yep.
just forgotten about. And
Uh-huh.
Maggie just brought her right back. Thanks
Yep.
for that.
I'm going to give Manny a drop for all time. We'll always have dry humping. This is what he said. And it's when you get pitchers up and down in the bullpen without them actually coming into the game.
Got it.
And really, honestly, could have done without that description.
That wasn't a dig at Pete Alonso. I've gone 5 years thinking that was a dig at Pete Alonso.
No, that was an all-time
How was Mickey
manager quote.
Callaway's Angels career, by the way, as a manager?
He was trouble. But anyway, gave us that all-time, I'd never heard that before, but that's what ended up happening with Yamamoto last night. Got him up, got him loosened
Dry
up, and never got him in the game. But ultimately a good thing. Again,
but
18 innings last night, an epic game.
Speaking of the staff, like you could tell Glasnow was not on his game last night. That's why I thought the Blue Jays should have won. I saw I guess he was way up in the zone. There were so many balls they could have hit. Like the Blue Jays should have came out of that game 2-1. I still think that was their big opportunity, and multiple times they blew it.
It's going to be tough for them going forward. We're doing this mostly from the Dodgers side of things because they're to the winner goes the spoils, and Shohei had this all-time night and Freddie Freeman. But if you're Toronto, you are sick because you were right in that game, obviously, 18-inning game, and you're doing it with this patched together, pieced together lineup.
Well, you've done it all year like that, to be fair.
2:51 a.m. too.
But here's the thing. Some of this was self-inflicted.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't help that George Springer looked like he tore his oblique open last night. That's not good. Maybe even Bo Bichette, who's obviously coming off a knee issue, and you can tell that he's not 100%. But, they decided to lift Kirk, who had hit a 3-run home run. They decided to lift Barger, who had been a postseason hero with the pinch hit grand slam in Game 1. I mean,
but here's the thing.
You decide to send Schneider, home with Vlad Guerrero on deck in the top of the 10th inning.
But you can understand.
They made some bad decisions last night.
You can understand why they wanted to generate some runs. They went how many innings without a run?
Yeah, but so did the Dodgers.
I'm just saying, like, any move to generate a run, and they should have scored. How many guys did they leave on base? How many times did they have guys on second and third and not come away with anything? So I understand why the manager's like, pull a Kirk. Like, you have to generate a run. They basically went more than a game without scoring.
Yeah, no, I get that he's not the fastest dude, but we got to stop dry humping. I knew that's going to live forever, but I had to do it. 19 players left on base for Toronto, 18 players left on base for the Dodgers. Crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I almost want to put this game to the side when it comes to evaluating any manager's moves, because how often are you do you have the playbook for an 18-inning game, Maggie? It's not so easy. You don't expect it to go 18.
No, 888-710-4ISN, but something that has to be rectified is if Bo Bichette can't last a whole game, right? And I get it, and his knee is an issue.
It's been incredible how good he looks considering.
But now you can probably DH him because George Springer, not to play doctor, likely not going to be in the lineup. So maybe that keeps Bo Bichette, but you can in your lineup, thankfully, because you cannot have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa hitting behind Vlad Guerrero. It just neutralizes your best hitter because if the base is open, you can walk him. Or you just pitch around him. You don't have to pitch to him with IKF behind him. Rich is in Cali. Rich, what'd you see last night? Is Ohtani already the GOAT?
Yeah, I think just by the fact that he can pitch the way he pitches and he can hit the way he hits. But I still think that, thanks to Major League Baseball, he gets a lot of help that he doesn't really need. We're going to see the Ohtani rule probably tomorrow night.
Yep.
And that, to me, isn't baseball. I'm sorry.
So
okay.
the Ohtani rule is obviously after he gets pulled from the game as a starting pitcher, he gets to stay in the lineup as a DH.
Yeah, but my question is, we're going to see now from Snyder, Ohtani's not going to see another pitch. So in essence, they'll neutralize him. So it'll be up to somebody else to do it. They've got the horses; they can pull it off. But the question is that something that's good for baseball? Because then we're going to move Ohtani down to about third or fourth in the lineup, where if you walk him, you've got a chance of walking in a run.
Yeah. I mean, Rich, I think we asked this question. Thank you for the call and interesting about intentionally walking Ohtani. Is it bad for baseball? I mean, we got 2 home runs and 2 doubles last night also. It's not like he had no production.
It's bad for baseball.
Well, I mean, he's got Mookie Betts behind him.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be better if you had a pitch to him, of course. I mean, he might have hit 5 home runs last night.
I got up on my soapbox and I complained about John Schneider continuously to intentionally walking Aaron Judge, and I was just dismissed. I was called Yankee Boy. I was on top. I've been telling you guys that this is what they do. This is what the Blue Jays do, and it's not good for the sport.
They probably would have won the game if they had intentionally walked him earlier,
Listen, it's smart. It's baseball strategy. What are you going to do? That's baseball, Susan. But it's just not good for the sport.
Did anyone get on, who was it, Mike Scioscia, when he was walking Barry Bonds intentionally?
It's not a matter of getting on. It's just the reality is it's a little like the tush push. Like, what are you going to do? Like, it just stinks when the great players don't get up. Yep.
I
mean, you don't blame the manager. They have to. If they didn't do it, they'd be like, what are you doing? And that's what happened with the Blue Jays last night. Like, they should have walked him with an empty base. There was a guy, wasn't there a player? I would walk, if bases loaded and Judge or Shohei's at the plate, I would consider walking in a run.
That happened to Barry
That
Bonds.
happened, right. Did that happen to Judge?
Bases loaded walk. I definitely happened to Bonds.
Definitely have the Bonds. Buck Showalter, I believe, made that move.
Yeah, I would do that.
I
I get it. Like, I mean, what's the point? Why are you if you get it over the plate against Shohei right now, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, that ball's going to end up in Santa Monica.
But here's the thing: this is a Dodger
Love Santa
lineup
Monica.
that after Ohtani goes Betts, Freeman, and then Will Smith. That's another interesting thing. What do the Dodgers do today with Will Smith, their catcher, who's clearly one of the backbone players of this team, but caught a doubleheader last night?
Yep.
Dave Roberts, I thought, was actually smart. Get out of the way. You know, I think that John Schneider was really, there's been times when he's kind of overmanaged, and I thought last night was maybe another example of that. Dave Roberts has been in these situations so much. You've got this incredible lineup, and he already had his hands full with having to navigate a bullpen through 18 innings. I think that just leave your guys in.
I don't know. If the Blue Jays hit a timely single, then you're not making that take. Because Dave Roberts is, I love Dave Roberts, but it doesn't, like he's the genius in this situation. That doesn't ring true either.
They had two pinch hitters in this game as opposed to the Blue Jays, which was all over the place. Now, one was an emergency, obviously, because George Springer got hurt. But no, all his best guys were in the lineup.
I mean,
all 18 innings.
Listen, the Blue Jays, with the bases loaded, get a single, then that argument goes by the wayside. So I don't know. I'm not sure there is. Again, like I said, there's no playbook for how to do an 18-inning game.
So does Will Smith catch today? Caught 18 innings last night. Doubleheader.
By the way, this lineup behind Shohei, if it's so great, why'd they walk him 5 times last night and not score for 10 innings?
Crazy. 888-710-4ISN. 888-710-4476. We're asking, is Ohtani already the greatest of all time? Amazing epic game last night.
That's baseball.
And he gets the ball tonight. Coming up, we have more for you on the firing of Brian Kelly. Some details, and we'll go boots on the ground to Louisiana next. Maggie, we got to stop dry humping, guys.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Pine Needles wakes up at dawn.
Let's go, Knicks! Let's go, baby! Yeah! Oh! Yeah! Let's go, Knicks! Let's go, baby! Yeah! Oh!
30 seconds remaining.
Up, but the screen sure is. Christian Field starts his day like this. Maggie. The Yankees lost last night, and then he lost his cool. Punched a hole through his drywall called Boonafoo.
It's Monday morning, lights come on, infinity's buzzing, another show's begun. But Bogus has a secret hidden in the sound. Taylor on the playlist when no one's around. Christian's gonna let the flame.
1 minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff show. Man, I'm still having trouble wrapping my head around what happened last night. That's why Andrew Bogusch is here to give us the latest headlines after one of the wildest nights. By the way, do you know it was a sports equinox last night? All the sports going on, and none of them really seemed to matter because of the Dodgers Blue Jays.
It was Game 3 of the World Series last night, and Shohei Ohtani started it by going double, homer, double, and then
Dominguez deals. And Ohtani shoots one left field, carrying back. It is out of here. Ohtani stays on one. He is 7 for his last 7 at Dodger Stadium with 5 home runs.
Which might explain why Ohtani did not see another hittable pitch last night. And since the Dodgers and Blue Jays played 18 innings, that meant 5 walks, 4 of them intentional. Yes, he made 9 plate appearances and reached base all 9 times. No one has done that in any type of game in 83 years. That tying solo homer, bottom 7, was the last run anybody scored until Freddie Freeman's game-ending solo shot leading off the bottom of the 18th. The Dodgers left standing 6-5 for a 2-1 series lead on Toronto. Game 3 going 6 hours and 39 minutes, ending a few ticks shy of midnight Pacific. 18 innings, matching the longest World Series game ever. Not much to say afterwards for Jays manager John Schneider.
A lot to unpack in that game, but I couldn't feel as good as I do right now about the way they went about it.
Schneider had Shane Bieber warming up at the end last night, didn't have to use him, so he will start Game 4 tonight, opposed by Ohtani. Monday Night Football began with a ball off Travis Kelce's hands for an interception. Later on, he was able to make a catch.
Mahomes takes the snap in his left knee, keeping the feet alive, sings it late for the end zone, it's caught, touchdown, Kansas City, and Travis Kelce with the catch now ties Priest Holmes for the most touchdowns in Kansas City Chiefs history.
83 to be exact. Mitch Holtis, Chiefs radio, so some personal history for Kelce in what became a 28-7 decision over the Commanders. Patrick Mahomes throwing 2 other touchdown passes. His team has won 4 of 5, is 5-3 overall.
By the way, guarantee on New Heights podcast that Jason, his brother, is going to make fun of Travis when he had that screen pass that broke for 50 yards. That he basically looked like he was going to pass out by the end of the run. And it just sort of flopped. He looked like me running at the end of the play. It was a great play. He had all this open field, and he was cooking for an old guy. Jason's going to kill him. I guarantee that's going to be a funny
there are
clip.
no more afterburners. Those left the building long ago.
Yeah, I was thinking, he probably could have gone to the house about 6 years ago on that one, but he was fantastic last night.
Also, didn't you notice a lot of hurdling last night for guys who have no business doing something like that?
The hurdle is in right now. There are college guys who will jump over like 2 guys.
I get it, but not everybody can jump that high.
That's nothing worse than when you try to do it and it doesn't work perfectly.
Marcus Mariota basically jumped in like he was jumping into a ball pit. That's a defender. I don't know. Just go down.
Hate to be the one to point this out, but the Sixers are 3-0.
BJ at midcourt jumps it across to Maxey. Maxey for 3, and he puts it up and in. The dagger. The Sixers lead by 10.
Tom McGinnis on Sixers radio. Tyrese Maxey scored 43. Rookie VJ Edgecombe had 26 plus 7 assists in a 136-124 win over the Magic. Austin Reeves scored 41 the night after 51, but this time the Lakers lost at home to the Blazers, 122-108. No LeBron, no Luka again, plus Marcus Smart and Gabe Vincent did not play for L.A. The Thunder held on for a 101-94 win in Dallas. A 19-point fourth-quarter lead got down to 1 before that victory. And Arch Manning is in concussion protocols, did not practice yesterday. Texas plays Vandy this weekend. Arch got hurt on the first play of overtime on Saturday. Guys, back to you.
Bogusch, thank you so much. Poll question up for you right now at Maggie and Pearl. Is Shohei Ohtani the greatest baseball player of all time? And by the way, yes is killing right now. 77% of you. Obviously, it's still early. Perloff is saying, well, he didn't have a good series against the Phillies, so I guess you got to dock him a couple points.
Yeah, that's weird after a game when he got on base 9 times that he's winning this poll. I mean, the timing
He deserves to win it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the greatest player of all time, we are in an era of hyperbole. We know that. I'm not saying that is the ultimate answer here, but it does feel very 2025 to put that poll up and answer yes today. That's all I'm saying.
So make the case for someone else.
I can't.
Right.
Babe Ruth, by the way, untouchable in World Series, 2 World Series.
Right, but wasn't he just a pitcher then?
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't hit 3 home runs the night before, and then come back and pitch well.
By the way, I love that you guys have already given Shohei 8 innings of 14 strikeout baseball.
No, I just he's gonna pitch today.
What if he's bad?
It doesn't. He's going to pitch the day after he had 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and got on base 9 times.
That show doesn't matter how he does today.
No, but I think what you're you are dismissing the fact that he's just going to pitch a World Series game because they want him to.
But I think it'll be interesting. This is not going to happen. What if he goes out there and gets shellacked because the dude's exhausted?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly. That's possible.
That'd be a twist on the story. I don't think that's going to happen because he looked so good last time he started. But
okay, but how about this? Can I just spin it this way? Let's say he goes out and gets shellacked tonight. We're talking about Shohei Ohtani
I doubt it, but
coming off an all-time game last night, and now he's going to take the ball to start. Okay. Let's just say he does get lit up.
Yeah.
Say he only lasts 2 1/3 and he gives up whatever. You mean this also goes and kind of sets up nicely because that means the series is likely going to continue and it's going to go. Maybe we're setting up for a 6 or 7 game series.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's going to get to pitch again.
Oh, well,
so
that'd be fun.
Even if he does get lit up tomorrow and the Blue Jays come back and win the game, we might get another Ohtani performance. We might get him coming out of the bullpen. He might get a Clayton Kershaw situation.
You almost definitely will.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty cool. I got to be all right. I am arguing against it, but as far as we are watching history, I will acknowledge that fact.
How big of you?
I mean, I will not give you the Brewers series, though. That was 3-0. Who cared? They were going to win. Anyway, whatever.
No.
I mean, they just won 18 innings last night. Second time ever.
I am curious. I'm curious to see also how the Blue Jays respond here because to go 18.
There were so many times Vlad should have put that game away in regulation. There were so many things that happened. They left so many guys on. They had so many opportunities.
How do you turn the page on that?
Well, I mean, the Blue Jays, that being said, Look at the Mariners series. Like, we thought we were in trouble in that one too. So they're a hard team to predict.
Okay, so you can go and vote. You can leave a comment if you'd like to. But quickly, let's turn our attention to LSU, Pearl. This is still a story that is unfolding with Brian Kelly being fired as LSU football coach. It comes on their bye week now. They get the week off, and then, lucky them, Alabama on the schedule. To me, and I've seen a lot of pushback on this, which is, and I think it's really a culmination here of some of the biggest coaching firings that we've had, these insane buyouts in a time when money, more than ever in the sport, and I know you'll roll your eyes at me like there weren't $100 handshakes back in the day, but we are so far from that. We're at $8 million quarterbacks now, not $100 handshakes. And how that money could be better used in so many different ways, as opposed to paying Brian Kelly, who's in his mid-60s, to most likely never work again.
Yeah,
now,
that absolutely. I totally agree. But, Kelly came in 2021, and we had no idea then. NIL had officially started in July 2021, but when he was hired, so I agree with you. Do you think the next coach is going to get a $54 million buyout? No way.
Let's go boots on the ground, shall we? Because we're fascinated by LSU, always interesting, and then where they turn now that Brian Kelly has been dismissed. Matt Moscona does the Locked On LSU podcast. We are diehard listeners of that pod. Matt, thanks so much for getting up early for us today. How are you?
I'm always up early. My pleasure.
We love that. These are our kind of people. Okay, first and foremost with Brian Kelly, let's unpack a little of what happened here. Obviously, the loss to A&M and how that second half went is why he's fired. But how much disharmony had been building up to that game? And did Brian Kelly feel like he was coaching for his job on Saturday night?
No. I don't believe we even had questions of Brian Kelly and his job security leading up to that game. I talked, just for some context, the week before LSU played Vanderbilt in Nashville, I was at that game, and that was the LSU Board of Supervisors trip. So one game a year, the entire board makes the trip. They put on their gaudy purple blazers, and they have a board dinner the night before. They were all in the field before the game and everything. So all that to say is, like, all the power brokers were at that game. And LSU lost to Vanderbilt. And taking the temperature after that game, nobody told me Brian Kelly was in trouble. The explanation was, well, they've lost 2 road games to top 10 teams. Like, that's not a fireable offense. It's not worth spending $54 million. So it is, if you ask me on a scale of 1 to 10, my surprise level that he was fired Sunday, like if you had asked me before the Texas A&M game, I would say like a 75. It just was not anything that anyone was conceptualizing, and it escalated very, very quickly.
So are you saying it wasn't just the loss to Texas A&M? There was more happening with Brian Kelly and the powers that be at LSU?
No, it's a good question. I think what that loss sort of identified was several things. This was an all-in season for LSU. You had Garrett Nussmeier returning for his 5th season. They made a very public plea in the offseason for funding the collective. Brian Kelly himself said they spent $18 million on this roster. And I think we all know in this playoff era, if you lose a third game, you're out. And so this was your last ditch effort. And for your team to lay down, I think the feeling after that game was he lost the locker room. And then Saturday night, as I understand it, during and shortly after the game, some of the power brokers started taking temperature of who would be interested in contributing to a buyout. They had, I don't mind sharing, I was told that they had the first year covered in one commitment. And then when Sunday morning came, and I think people sort of said, all right, let's see if things have calmed down. And some of the more influential people around the program started making calls. There just wasn't a lot of support for Brian Kelly. And maybe, guys, that was his biggest flaw, is the fact that maybe he wasn't relational enough with the people that were going to make decisions and write checks. And so he just didn't have any allies and any support come Sunday morning. And so they made the decision, and he was fired shortly around noon.
Matt Moscona is joining us. He hosts the Locked On LSU podcast, which is just must listen, covers all LSU sports. And obviously, Matt, I'm assuming your download's got to be off the charts these last couple days because I'm sure because you've got great information, which is why we wanted you to come on the show. And I guess here's another question. You just kind of talked about it, how Brian Kelly didn't have a lot of allies in the building. I think you go back to his, getting hired, kind of shocking as a cultural fit. Your boots on the ground, just how much of a mismatch was like a polished Midwestern guy in Louisiana?
Yeah, I've answered this question a bunch over the last 4 years, and my answer hasn't changed. I think people look at Louisiana, and particularly the southern part of the state, as, look, we are culturally idiosyncratic. There's no denying. Even relative to the rest of the Gulf South. Like, we talk funny, we eat funny food, we party a lot. It's what we do down here. But the most successful coaches in LSU history, like Nick Saban was a Midwesterner. Skip Bertman, who won 5 baseball titles in 10 years, a Jewish guy from Miami who came to heavily Catholic South Louisiana and is on everybody's Mount Rushmore. He is one of the most beloved figures ever. Dale Brown left LSU as the second winningest coach in the history of SEC basketball behind only Adolph Rupp. He's from Minot, North Dakota. Like, you don't have to be able to spell etouffee to work at LSU. You just have to win. And Brian Kelly won early, and he just didn't sustain it. And that's the problem that Brian Kelly had, is he just didn't sustain the winning to match the expectation of the contract and his track record when he got here.
I saw a headline in The Athletic that said, now LSU can exhale, implying that there's a sense of relief that he's gone because it seemed to be headed in the right direction and almost like ripping the Band-Aid of a firing that might happen eventually. I kind of got that vibe too, like that it doesn't seem to me like a sad day at LSU. From the outside, we're very far away.
You lose 3 games before November, a lot of people want to fire the coach in these parts. So I think context matters. Obviously, there was a lot of fan unrest. Anybody that was, God bless you if you were still watching the game Saturday night by the end of the game. But the stadium had emptied out. The fans, the students were chanting "Fire Kelly." It was an ugly scene. Some players left before they sang the alma mater. Brian Kelly had left the field. A few players stayed. Brian Kelly came back out. It's tough to judge by the end because typically when someone gets fired, it's ending badly. But I'll say this for Brian Kelly, and I understand what the national and outside perception is of him, and probably with a lot of fans and people around LSU right now as well. I covered him for 4 years, and I found him the total opposite of what the perception of him was. He was kind, courteous, professional. I really enjoyed covering his program for the last 4 years. And I understand that is not the national perspective of Brian Kelly, but it is odd to me because I don't know if you all knew him at all prior. I had no awareness of Brian Kelly before he showed up in Baton Rouge. So it's very much a blank slate. So it surprises me, given how I've gotten to know him over the last 4 years, what the perception is. But for many, the perception is reality. And I think that extended to a lot of boosters, a lot of admins, and certainly a lot of fans as well.
Matt Moscona is joining us for just another minute or two. He has the Locked On LSU podcast. Must listen all the time, especially now with all the drama going on with the football program. I've interviewed Brian Kelly a couple times. He was amazing at Notre Dame. But just even the press conferences, calling the assembled press, you guys are spoiled, the banging on the table and stuff like that. I don't think he did himself a lot of favors. But obviously, Matt, we turn the page now. Or eventually LSU will turn the page to find a new football coach. Who's at the top of the wish list, and who do you think is their next realistic head coach at LSU?
Yeah, so it's a layered answer. So the first thing you have to answer is how much is LSU willing to spend? Are they willing to do the $100 million contract again? Because if they do that, then you're in that mix for, will Lane Kiffin take your call? Will Dan Lanning at Oregon take your call? After that, names like Eli Drinkwitz, Jed Fish will probably come up. If they decide to go a different route, maybe the more NFL model, or if they try to look at, the G6 model, John Summerall at Tulane is right down the road. But guess for right or wrong, for better or worse, there are people at LSU that are going to say you can't hire the Tulane coach. I'm not saying that that's an opinion I share. I'm just telling you that's going to be the opinion of some people, and I think that would be short-sighted because I think John Summerall at Tulane has done an amazing job and would do an excellent job at LSU. But it's really going to come down to the fact that LSU is not a poverty program, but it's not a wealthy program. This isn't like SMU just saying, let us in the ACC and don't give us TV money for 10 years because our roster of billionaires will figure it out. So scraping together $54 million to buy out Brian Kelly, then buy out his staff, then hire a new head coach and a new staff, you're talking about north of $100 million. And that is not something that's easy. That's not couch cushion money here. So it will be fascinating to see what direction LSU goes with this hire. If they are going to walk down that road of the $100 million hire again, or if this is going to be one of those situations where they look to do something maybe a little more cost effective.
Matt, we're flat out of time. This is great. We could talk about this for hours and hours. Matt Moscona, host the Locked On LSU pod. Fantastic job, again, all year round covering LSU athletics, and you've been all over the story, so thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Appreciate that.
That's kind of funny. He's like, yeah, we're kind of idiosyncratic. We like to party a lot. That's my experience of Louisiana as well.
And that's why we love to visit there. And, yeah, we mean like cultural fit. I think he's absolutely right. I heard Andy Staples talking about this. Urban Meyer, was not a Florida guy. He went to Florida, won there. All of a sudden, you're a Florida guy.
Point.
It's about the winning, and Brian Kelly didn't do enough of it. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Maggie Perloff Show. We're back in moments.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Amazing stuff. If you missed our interview with Matt Moscana from LSU, Locked On LSU Tigers, covers the entire athletic department, does a great job, though, and has done a great job covering all things Brian Kelly because he was shown the door. What was interesting, we thought one of the big takeaways from Matt Pearl, we'll get back to baseball in a second with the 18-inning game last night, LSU doesn't have this never-ending source of funds.
Yeah, I mean, the same is kind of true about Alabama as well. And when you think about it in the NIL landscape, you would think the bigger the state, the more they could fund their major university. Now, I read an interesting thing. LSU doesn't have to split with really anybody in the state. Tulane's a private school. It's a totally different vibe than LSU, where Alabama has Auburn, Florida has Florida State, Texas has about 8 big schools. So LSU, the entire state can support the Tigers. So that's one thing. But man, Matt painted a picture where it makes me a little worried. Is this going to be able to be a national title team again?
Well, I mean, do you need to throw $100 million at a coach to be a national title contender?
Well, look at, Kalen DeBoer. It looks like he's got Alabama right there again. So maybe not. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't necessarily need, I don't think he's making $100 million.
So the other thing that Matt said I thought was interesting, and this is just a little into the psyche of LSU, right? And of the fans, and how rabid they are and how their expectations are sky high. John Sumrall is at Tulane. And he is a fantastic football coach. And he will be up for all these other big openings. Florida, maybe Penn State, Arkansas, all these places that are open now. John Sumrall is going to be a name that you're going to hear. But LSU may not be able to hire him because he's the Tulane coach.
Well,
to me, that is like voting against your own self-interest. Is he the best guy for the job or is he not the best guy for the job? Because now you're just going on what? The reputation of an entirely different school is going to impact the hire that you make? Doesn't that seem silly?
It totally does, and I still totally get it. I don't know why. It's just yeah.
So say he goes to Florida and then he kicks your butt for a decade?
Still. You're LSU. I get it. You understand. At least you understand the logic, right? You are not supposed to be borrowing from Tulane.
See, I think that's over now. You need best coach available. You look at what happened. You got Brian Kelly. You got the celebrity guy, one of the biggest names in college football, and he couldn't even last through a 4th season.
Is John Sumrall so much better than the equivalent names? Listen, Lane Kiffin is probably got to be the number one. I'm not actually. Matt didn't say that, but I would assume. I don't know that John Sumrall is so above everybody else that you have to pull him. If it comes down to a tie,
I'm just saying, is he even getting a fair shot? To me, that's crazy. I understand there's like a little brother or a little sister type thing that goes on in college athletics. I totally get that. I'm not stupid.
Yep.
But it feels like you're at a point where everything should be on the table. We're in a different era of college football now, and you need to use whatever money you have to pull in recruits, number one, and two, you need a coach that's just the best person on merit. Isn't that what this all about right now? We're hiring and doing everything on just who's the most qualified for the job, not any stipulations or whatever. Like this is LSU potentially cutting themselves off to someone who could really help their program.
Well,
because he happens to coach in the same state.
That's totally true. But the reality is John Summerall to me, is almost the same as the other candidates around him. So it might be a tiebreaker. It's John Summerall. First of all, I'm not sure. John Summerall will get a job. It might not be one of the big three, being Florida, Penn State, and LSU.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. All right, let's get back to baseball, shall we? Shohei Ohtani with an all-time night. Same for Freddie Freeman. A walk-off home run in 18 innings. Wow.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Elevado al central, va hacia atrás Barshaw, la pelota se va, Dios, ya sí se acabó el partido. Otro héroe en Serie Mundial. Entrada número 18. Esta vez es Freddie Freeman, que le da victoria a los Dodgers 6-5 y da ventaja también en la serie 2-1.
Thank you to the Dodgers Spanish radio network for that call. Pearl, in any language, Freddie Freeman was electric last night, hitting a walk-off home run in the 18th inning of Game 3 of the World Series, an all-time moment. And he already had an all-time moment last year in Game 1 of the World Series when he hit a grand slam walk-off and shades of Kirk Gibson. And then we get his heroics last night. And the craziest thing about last night, and the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead, Freddie Freeman is the one who's the headliner because he hit the walk-off. But last night was really Shohei Ohtani's night. Stop me if you've heard that. 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 5 walks. 4 of them were intentional. He's now hit 3 multi-homer games, the first guy ever to do it in postseason history.
Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, and the 5th walk was basically kind of intentional, too. Like, they were smartly not giving him anything to hit. Honestly, if the Blue Jays had intentionally walked him during regulation, do you call it regulation? Not really regulation. In the first 9 innings, they might not have had to go to extra innings. Gotta really hurt. The manager, John Schneider, did say he was super proud of the team. This team,
the Blue Jays,
yeah, I will give you the Blue Jays one thing. Like they're a vibe team. I really believe this. Like talent wise, they obviously don't match up with this all time Dodgers team. That's why I'm not going to say the series is over because I thought the Blue Jays were dead against the Mariners, and they do seem like they can find some extra gear that you didn't see coming. I mean, I don't think anybody saw this particular team coming this level, because even right there with the Dodgers, they've given the Dodgers the toughest test of anybody this postseason.
No, I mean, the Dodgers got off to a 2-run lead with a couple solo home runs, and here comes Alejandro Kirk, your favorite baseball player of all time, Pearl. I think he reminds you of like some kind of like Mexican John Kruk.
He's like a combination of John Kruk, Pete Incaviglia, and I'm trying to think of another great Philly, Lenny Dykstra.
Okay. Well, yeah.
And Manny Rodriguez.
He hit a 3-run home run, and then all of a sudden it's game on. Meanwhile, we didn't know how much was left to unfold in that game. Now, here's the thing about the Dodgers. Not just because they lost, but there were some questionable decisions that were made last night. Now, had they won, like obviously everything's forgiven, but you use 4 different pinch runners in this game. Some was by necessity, some I think because I think the manager kind of tried to outsmart himself a little bit, and you never know that your game's going to go to 18 innings. But the lineup that they ended the game with just did not have nearly the teeth of the lineup that started the game. Now, some of this you can't help. George Springer pulls an oblique and an at-bat, so you need an emergency pinch hitter at that point. And I know that Bo Bichette is dealing with a knee injury, and he got lifted at one point as well for a pinch runner. But, I mean, your catcher, Alejandro Kirk, is one of your most dangerous bats. You lifted him. Barger, your most dangerous bats, lifted him. You ended up with four different pinch runners and then the emergency pinch hitter. You just messed with your lineup, I think, a bit too much. Now, credit the bullpen held. The Dodgers bullpen held. But this is one where I think the Blue Jays are kicking themselves. They also had a moment in the 10th inning when the third base coach sends a runner home and you had Vlad Guerrero on deck. And it's these kind of things, Pearl. If you're going to beat the Dodgers, every little minuscule moment counts. And that was actually a huge one.
No, listen, any manager should be able to see that this game is going 18 innings. Maggie, they went 11 innings without scoring a run, and you're blaming him for putting in a pinch runner? I mean, come on. Like, you had to generate a run. How many times? And if it was a little bit warmer last night, Teoscar Hernandez fly ball goes out of the park. Freddie Freeman hit another ball that should have gone out of the park. I cannot fault John Snyder for this at all. There's no logic here. It's an 18-inning game. They desperately needed to generate a run. They went, correct me if I'm wrong, 11 scoreless innings. So you're blaming the manager for trying something to create a run? And you obviously, as you mentioned, Springer was just bad luck. But, yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense.
I don't know.
I mean, they needed to get a guy over the plate, do whatever you need to do. Get in a new runner, do something, because you can't. I mean, it's amazing that they got to 18. Amazing. Because both teams should have put it away much, much earlier. 37 runners stranded in the game. I'm not going to fault the manager because there's absolutely no playbook for how to play an 18-inning game.
I understand. Speaking of some unsung heroes here, you're going to have Eric Lauer for the Blue Jays, who pitched 4 2/3 innings. He was the 8th of 9 pitchers for Toronto. It's crazy when he got. Did he have more strikeouts? Oh, he had 2 strikeouts, and Max Scherzer, who started the game, only had 3. And then Will Klein, who is going to get a lot of attention today, but again, more of an unsung hero, a guy who had never thrown more than 30 pitches in a game, pitches 4 shutout innings last night, and he had 5 strikeouts, which is the exact same amount as Tyler Glasnow, who started the game for the Dodgers. It was a wild game.
Glasnow was off. This was the Blue Jays' chance. It was a chance to go up 2-1. The Dodgers, they're relentless with this pitching staff, too, so it really hurts in Toronto. I actually, you don't want to say feel bad for a team that's down 2-1 in the World Series. That's got to be tough in Toronto tonight.
Well, here's the question. Not only how do you turn the page on this after losing, your bullpen is completely taxed, just like the Dodgers, but the Dodgers have Shohei Ohtani taking them out tonight. I mean, that makes this game, I'm more excited to watch this game. I can't even think of the last, and we've had game 7s and things like that.
Game 7, I think you could argue.
This is something even totally different than that. Totally different. The fact that Shohei last night, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, the 5 walks, he's on base 9 times, 12 total bases, and he's taking the ball tonight to start the game. I can't even remember, guys, like a much more anticipated, like game 7 is its own thing, right? You tune into a game 7 for all the obvious reasons. I'm talking about an individual performance that I'm tuning in for specifically. When's the last time you saw something like that?
Like this?
Yeah, like this. Like it just doesn't exist. Yeah,
no, actually, you're right. Babe Ruth, as Andrew Bogus pointed out, did not pitch and hit in the same game. Travis Hunter, nope, I don't got anything for you, Maggie.
I don't even know what else there would be. I'm more excited to watch this game and more interested in this game than I honestly, I'm not even trying to be prisoner of the moment. I cannot remember the last thing that wasn't a Super Bowl or a game 7 winner take all. Anyone got anything?
I mean, he ended up not having an impact, but Dion playing after having already played a football game.
The double.
I think now they didn't put him out there. The Braves
yeah, but he didn't play. I saw that documentary recently on NFL Network.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in terms of anticipation, though. Like, it was like, oh, what's going to happen if he plays? And, of course, they didn't play him, but maybe that would have been the only thing.
Can't even think of maybe that, and we have to go back 30 years for that?
Yeah.
Of just what we saw last night from Shohei, ends around midnight local time. Now he's got to come back out, and he takes the ball. It just never happens. Anyway, we're asking you on X, is Shohei Ohtani the greatest baseball player of all time? And yes is running away with it, Pearl.
What do we got?
74%.
I wonder, okay.
Something's holding you up from doing this.
2 outcomes.
You're not on board with Shohei as the greatest of all time.
He's just coming off a night, like when you put up a poll question off a night when he got on base 9 times. it does seem like there is a possibility of recency bias. No?
I don't think so. I think we do this a lot. So I'm not saying you're wrong in society, especially now the news cycle moves really fast.
The word greatest is thrown around a lot.
Well, I mean, does it not fit here? Like, don't let other people calling, using that term so loosely impact what we're watching right now. Because, I don't know, we used it for Tom Brady. We use it for whether you're LeBron James, Michael Jordan. I mean, we could kind of argue that to the end of time. Like, we do it a little with Connor McDavid, but we really say that Gretzky is the greatest. I don't think we're really going with the McDavid thing yet.
Let me ask you a question. If Shohei was just a hitter, would he be the greatest of all time?
See, this is where I think no. I would be less inclined to go with that, even though you could make the case. I'd be less inclined to go with that.
No,
it is the combo
I don't think
platter.
you couldn't make the case yet.
It's the combo platter of him also pitching. Even if you think that it's superfluous or that the Dodgers don't need him to win, the fact that he's doing it and doing it at a high level is nuts.
I just think that generally the way sports arguments go, they play till 2:55 at night, and we're certainly counting last night's game in this argument. Are we really sitting down and crunching numbers with him, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays? We could go down the list. Joe DiMaggio. Like, I just think that we're caught up in the hysteria, and he might. And when we get out of the hysteria, I'll admit he likely will be at the top of this list. But right now, we're in the heart of the storm. We're in the eye of the Shohei hurricane. It's 2-1. We have possibility for crazy heroics. You painted a scenario. Well, what if they lose this game, whether Shohei pitches well or not tonight, and he comes back in Game 7 and has a game-winning strikeout? So we are in the eye of the Shohei hurricane. Can't we wait 5 minutes to do the legacy thing?
No, not when it's like this. Not when it looks like this. Because I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I get a little ick factor when we do was this the greatest performance ever? Was this the whatever? I don't feel bad about this one at all.
Okay.
I don't feel weird about it. I don't feel self-conscious. I don't think that people are going to be calling us idiots and morons like they usually do or sometimes do.
Just wait, Maggie.
I mean, just make the case against him then. You can't do it. You want to say why he didn't have a good series against the Phillies? Like, who cares? Look at what he's done since. Like, the playoffs are a long time. They're long. Sometimes a quarterback doesn't have the greatest wild card game. If they have an awesome divisional round in Super Bowl, do we say, oh, but they only completed 60% of their passes back in that wild card round? No.
Are you really sitting there with the receipts on what Mickey Mantle did in the 1958 World Series or whatever? I'm just making up a number.
Yeah.
I just think that you have to admit it. Like, have you really thought out this debate
did Mickey
compared
Mantle
to history?
Pitch?
Well, so it's the pitching.
Didn't.
So okay,
right.
So it's the pitching. So it doesn't even matter. Actually, to you, it doesn't even matter if he goes out and doesn't get a single out tonight. Is it dependent on his pitching performance in this particular game?
I think it's for that. I think it's we got to wait to the whole postseason because, like, let's say he gets shelled tonight, but if he does come back in a Game 7 and pitches awesome, then it's great. Like, we joked around that Clayton Kershaw came in last night, had 2 outs, 2 on, and got the out. And it's like, okay, all's forgiven for all
that
those
was a
postseason.
Total joke, but yes.
I know it was a joke, but I kind of, we got to wait for the whole thing to.
Which again was a recency bias. Watch Clay. I'm sure the Dodgers don't want to put Kershaw out again. I think they will hope that'll be the last time we have to see him.
How about this small thing? The broadcast I think is very good. The Fox broadcast. I really do. I think Joe Davis, John Smoltz,
for sure.
They do a great job. You got Tom Verducci, someone we worked with for a long time. Ken Rosenthal, one of the best reputations in sports. They have just an awesome crew.
I'm Derek Jeter. You shot me.
Yeah. The studio show has really come along. Those guys, their chemistry, I think, is really building, and Burkhart's a really good straight man for them. I think John Smoltz is the only person in the world who didn't know that Clayton Kershaw and Matthew Stafford went to high school together and were there at the same time, same team, same age.
Yankee lose.
Only person.
Did he know Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard? Because if he didn't know that, then he's not even an American.
You know, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and
Nickeil Walker.
Yeah, they're cousins, guys. It's funny. It's like I didn't even think. I thought we were barred from even mentioning this anymore because it's been mentioned so much.
Absolutely. I had no idea Smoltz didn't know that.
So Stafford was at the game last night. and Justin Herbert was at the game last night. I feel like Justin Herbert has been out more in the last week than he has since we've known him.
Well, when you have Madison Beer coming with you everywhere you go, I mean, I would want to go outside too.
Really? I don't know. She's not that special. I'm just joking.
Oh, okay. I was about to get very disrespectful for disrespecting Madison Beer like that.
I'm actually laughing. I was watching some sports shows yesterday, and they were showing the pictures of Justin Herbert and Madison Beer, and the male host trying not to say something creepy about these massive cleavage shots of her at the basketball game.
Eyes up, guys. Eyes up.
Like, it's just like, oh my God. Well, there's no way to look at this situation with Justin Herbert in a non-shallow way. It's just ridiculous.
What do you think they talk about?
Football, obviously.
I think Seinfeld had the absolute best line. This is Costanza and Seinfeld talking about looking at a woman's cleavage. And they said it's like the sun. You can't stare directly at it. You got to have a sense of it and then look away.
Yeah.
This caused Andrew Bogusch to storm in like the Kool-Aid man. What do you got on cleavage?
First of all, I'm not that round or red.
What is up, you creep?
We were just discussing in the newsroom, and I will not include the rest of me and others. At what point does Justin Herbert just go, we got to go home now? Like, you can't sit through 18 innings with your super hot, famous girlfriend. At some point, you got to go home, right?
Did they say to the end?
They were there for extra innings. The last spin of like Celebrity Row came in the top of the 10th. Like, look who's still here.
Doesn't he have to watch game tape? Isn't that what quarterbacks do?
Tuesday's day off.
Yeah,
but
plus they're playing the Titans.
Not for the highest level quarterbacks. You think they take Tuesday off? They always work on Tuesdays.
He's got half a bye. The Titans aren't
I didn't
that
realize
good.
the Titans were next. You can't go at least to the 15th inning.
But let's be honest, if somehow the Titans, I don't know how, but if somehow the Titans pull off an upset, it's going to be a lot of Justin Herbert was out at the Halloween party. Then he was at the Laker game. Then he's at the Dodgers extra inning game, and this woman's bad for him. They'll find a way to blame the woman.
Yeah.
You love her cleavage, but then you're going to hate her if your quarterback loses.
But let's spin it. He's a handsome dude. At what point is she going, honey, we can't be here anymore? Like, she wants to take him home just as badly as he wants to go home with her.
Yeah.
Who are you? I need names. Who are you talking to in the newsroom about this?
I mean, turn
There's
around.
two
You have this
people out
glass
there.
behind you.
And just
Did you
can't
just
perform.
say Cleveland, by the way? Did you combine Cleveland and Cleveland?
She's from Ohio.
Yeah, if she's from Ohio, it'd be Cleveland.
Well, her last name is Beer. It also fits.
Hey,
Let's see if she's got a take on Shador Sanders.
I'm sure she does.
I'm sure she does. Is she actually from Ohio? You guys are making this up because I misspoke.
I was, yeah. She might be, but
Did I say Cleveland or you said?
No, you said
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I
Cleavage.
say boobs, not cleavage. I'm a gentleman.
She was born in Jericho, New York.
No,
Long
she's from
Island.
Long Island. Yeah, she's from the area. I actually knew that because I looked her up like 3 days ago.
Yeah, he's bugging.
And we haven't seen you since.
Yeah, he's bugging to catch a Long Island chick at a game till 2 a.m.
In L.A.
Imagine
Or
how
even
funny it
midnight.
would be if all of a sudden you've got this really beautiful woman, Madison Beer, whatever, and she opens her mouth and sounds like Long Island. How much of a letdown that would be. All right, coffee, get your coffee. It's like, oh no.
She sounds like Susie from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Larry.
We'd probably figure it out.
Bleep you, Larry. It's just one match. Okay, there's a phone ringing in here.
Is that a
Does
phone?
someone
What
want to
is
pick
that?
it up?
Or a Zoom call? I've never heard that noise before.
A phone?
Or
you guys
some
hear
kind of
this?
fire alarm? What is going on over here?
Where?
Where's it coming from?
I don't know. It's not my phone. It's not your phones.
It's not my phone. Wait, be quiet for a second. Okay, it's not a phone. I'm sorry. Is the audience getting that?
I mean, I'm hearing it very faintly. I don't think the audience is hearing it.
Someone's still using like a Nextel, like push to talk.
Dial-up? Also, is there a countdown somewhere? We have to decide to cut the yellow wire
Happy
or cut
New
the
Year.
blue?
Too late. We're about to explode.
About to go MacGruber on this bad boy.
Anyone got a piece of gum and some
Yeah.
duct tape?
Is it still ringing?
Yeah.
Oh my! Yeah, I do hear
Is
it.
it coming from the desk?
I don't know.
Okay.
Can we
Let's go to
break?
break.
This
Coming
is
from my
driving me-
cleavage.
This is driving me
It's not even
crazy.
laptops.
No, it doesn't sound like it's coming from a computer.
It's definitely Perloff.
It is?
No, I
It
mean-
feels generally in your area.
All right, we're going to have
No,
to
it's
figure this
that
out.
computer right there.
That computer
I don't
shouldn't
know.
make any noise.
It's getting
It's not
louder.
on.
It is getting loud.
It is.
Is it Halloween today? Why is our studio haunted?
I've got a feeling that Pat Boyle is messing with us.
I mean, I'd hope he'd have something better to do with his time.
Sleep?
I don't think so.
I'd hope so.
All right,
Manny
well,
Rodriguez.
We have to take a break. You can go vote. Is Shohei Ohtani already the greatest baseball player of all time? Coming up next, what is the best opening in college football right now? Got some high-profile ones after LSU said goodbye to Brian Kelly. We'll do that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
The M&P 500 on the Infinity Sports Network.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Every week we do the M&P 500. Stock up, stock down. All right, Maggie, get us started after a busy, let's say, 3-day sports weekend, an epic sports night.
Yeah, I want to go with like Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, but I think there is one person whose stock is up more than anyone in sports that I can remember. The iron is so hot for this dude that he's going to be a gajillionaire if he wants to be in this offseason.
I'm so sorry. We're going to do the exact same person, I believe, and I cannot believe that this is the person.
Lane Kiffin.
Oh. That's not what I thought you were saying at all.
Well, I mean,
okay.
Listen,
you're right about it. That's a fact, by the way.
Shohei, we already knew was amazing. Like, we'll get to Shohei and Freddie Freeman. These guys are multi-time MVPs. Lane Kiffin was almost felt like out of the sport after what happened at USC. He got left on the tarmac. Dude got fired, and they just left him at the airport. I mean, this comeback from Lane Kiffin, where now he's got Ole Miss, looking like they could compete for a national championship. He's the quarterback whisperer now. I think he's maybe even taken that from Lincoln Riley. And he's up for every single job opening. Florida, LSU now. I was making the case he should be the next Penn State head coach. He's going to write the check. Lane Kiffin, to me, is the biggest beneficiary of all these coaching firings. And again, felt like he was G5, and it wasn't even that long ago. This is crazy to me about Lane Kiffin, who was thought of being immature and not ready for the big stage, and he has completely flipped that. The stock couldn't be higher for him.
Okay, say things go great. How much do you think he'll make a year?
15, maybe?
Okay. Now, reverse those numbers and go 51, because I thought, it's going to laugh. Who do you think I was talking about?
I don't know.
It's a football player, an NFL player. I thought you were talking about Daniel Jones. Because the guy is red hot. He's going to make Ian Rappaport report on Sunday that they're looking to extend him now. He's going to get between $45 and $55 million a year. And he, much like Lane Kiffin, was left for dead. And he is the hottest quarterback in the NFL, arguably. A lot to do with the schedule, obviously, beating up the Tennessees of the world. But he has been utterly incredible. On Sunday, he was 21 for 29, 272, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And that's not an anomaly at all. He's doing that to everybody. Weak schedule, but I feel like the story of the year right now is Daniel Jones in Indianapolis, and I would be shocked if they make a huge long-term commitment to him.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're right. Although, I mean, I would argue Lane Kiffin has some better W's on his schedule after beating LSU and beating Oklahoma than Daniel Jones does. But anyway.
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Squint on that one.
If the stock goes up, that means the stock has to go down. And I hate to do this because I know that he was dealing with some serious health issues this offseason. But Colorado football, I mean, it was just a real embarrassing performance. Over the weekend, it was 43-0 at halftime. And I'm not trying to pile on. I'm just saying if we're going stock up and stock down, Deion's stock as a college football coach, Pearl, was through the roof only 18 months ago. Less. And now it feels like Colorado, I'm sorry for Andrew Kaplan, who's the puppet master behind this entire show and Colorado alum, but it feels like Colorado's really teetering here. And it's not because Deion couldn't recruit. It's just all fallen apart. And that was really embarrassing over the weekend. So stock down. Deion Sanders, the head coach.
Run.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Colorado was a penny stock coming into this thing. Like, you have to remember where they were. So I don't think it's going to be a failure by Deion in any sense of the word, because they were one of the worst programs in the country. So I just think if you pull back, it is Colorado football. Okay, I'm going to go to one that actually didn't play out as badly as I thought it would. But what's the deal with Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh? Like, Pitt played there on Saturday. Then the Steelers played the game of the week against the Packers on Sunday. And we know that the field, I know they fixed it after 2 weeks ago. It almost ruined the game against the Browns. Like, this is the NFL. Why do they have a crappy stadium in one of their premier cities? I'm sorry. I just don't understand how Pitt can play there the day before the Steelers play there. It drives me nuts. It didn't really impact the game. As far as I saw, I'd have to go back on it. The 2 weeks ago was so slippery. Anyway, I hate Acrisure Stadium. I don't know what it is.
I don't know you had such a strong feeling about it at all.
Well, it was a huge narrative coming into the game because Pitt had just played there the day before, and people were really worried. Like, the NFL was like, God, if somebody gets hurt on this thing, it's going to be so embarrassing. Anyway, I just think that's time to change that. I don't know how you do it, but you cannot schedule. And the same thing happens in the Link in Philadelphia, where Temple plays on the same field. I'm sorry, this is NFL football. This is, sacrosanct. This should be the number one thing on everyone's mind. I know, totally random. Didn't see that one coming, did you?
I did not. I thought you were going to go Aaron Rodgers or something like that from that game.
Rodgers was good. I would say stock steady there.
Don't be a freaking weirdo.
888-710-4SN if you want to go stock steady on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, stock is it's a safe investment for the year. Then I would short it after the year.
We don't have a sounder for that.
Yeah. What do you call a stock that's not up or down? Just a stock?
Our portfolios.
Just
Anyway, okay. Stock up. I think, and I'm actually surprised that you haven't been talking this dude up a little bit more, because I feel like this is your kind of guy. Bear Bachmeier from BYU.
Oh, yeah.
BYU 8-0. Guy's a freshman. Obviously, they went through all the quarterback drama last year, and he comes in, and this BYU team is awesome. And I know it's going to be a wild finish in the Big 12 because it always is, but to me, this is a very fun story. Bear Brockmeyer, all of his siblings also have animal names.
Yeah, I did something on him in the spring. Remember, I was so excited about this guy.
I know, but you never talk him up now. And BYU is now a top 10 team in college football.
I believe I saw him creep into the Heisman odds a little bit, which seems, it seems like right now it's Mendoza and Ty Simpson. But
what about Diego Pavia?
I don't see him as high. I feel like it's okay. I have number 1 Mendoza, 2 Ty Simpson, then Marcel Reed is 3. Let's see where. Oh no! It was Brendan Sorsby of Cincinnati who's creeping up in the lower level Heisman race. But again, it's still early. We're in October, so there's a lot to be determined.
Got any more?
Oh, okay. Stock down. Cam Scadaboo. I got a text from Dr. Positano, who's a renowned foot doctor, who's a good friend of the show. He called it the Exorcist ankle.
Why?
Because the head turns in The Exorcist.
Oh no.
He said that's the best way to describe it. He said this happens on occasion, and it's the worst kind of ankle injury.
Great to hear.
Oh, the Giants fans in the room just lost their breakfast.
Nothing to live for.
No, literally nothing.
But he's a tough dude. Listen, and he's not a speed player, so who knows? Maybe he comes back. And he's all about
Well,
it's Cam Scadaboo.
Just
you
not
used to have
year.
him on I think he's an inspiring guy, even not in uniform. Come on. What are we doing here? Nothing's happened with the Giants this year anyway. Don't look at me like that, bogus. The guy got hurt. It's not my fault.
No, I know, but you're the one breaking the bad news that it's the worst possible ankle injury. Of course it is.
What did you think Dr. Positano was going to say? This one's a flesh wound?
Well, no.
Just a scrape?
Sometimes it's like, we can fix that. In and out, back here, no big deal. I thought this was going to be, bad, but also manageable. I didn't even hear this as worst case scenario.
Well, one thing that's kind of funny.
None of it's funny.
He's a very busy doctor. Has a client list. You go there as long. He's bothered to send me a clip of the girl changing her head in The Exorcist. Yeah.
Doesn't she also spit something out green?
Yeah. So in case you didn't know what I was talking about, Exhibit A.
We were talking last week about the best 2 words in sports, Game 7, or best 2 words period, open bar, stuff like that, spring break. The worst 2 words, I think we have a new...
Open dislocation?
Aircast.
Oh, okay.
Aircast sucks.
Anytime it's the Aircast, it's over.
Yep. I feel the first Aircast guy was Robert Griffin. Remember, he dislocated his ankle with the Browns? That was the first time I remember hearing the term Aircast.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Best 2 words, open bar.
Yeah, we know.
Dudes.
Game 7, pants optional.
Pants optional.
Open bar, pants optional. Best 4 words in sports.
In life.
Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the
thanks.
latest. Hi.
By the way, I'll be nice to Philadelphia. Apparently, Big Dom took food to the hospital for Scadaboo.
Oh, that's
Sunday
nice.
night.
That's nice.
Cheesesteaks and pizza.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good job by Big Dom. Is that community service from last year? Is he still
part of his probation?
Exactly.
I gotta be honest.
Like, got another 20 hours to fill.
I spent a big chunk of yesterday arguing with people about whether the tush push should be banned because they stopped the play too early on the Jalen Hurts fumble. I think the NFL is throwing these plays so they can get rid of the tush push. I joked about it about a month ago. Like, why? It had nothing to do with the tush push. They just blew the whistle too soon, and now they're going to get rid of the tush push because the officials keep screwing it up.
Well, maybe they shouldn't blow the
Thank
whistle
God.
when Jalen Hurts is literally still reaching the ball out as far as
That's
he
my
possibly
point.
can.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but that was just an awful mistake by the official. Not anything to do with the tush push.
Wait, so let me get this straight. You're implying that the league told the officiating crew and every officiating crew who does an Eagles game mess up the tush push calls to benefit the Eagles to create a firestorm publicly to push for the ban of the push.
Yes, because Roger Goodell's obsessed with getting rid of the tush push because it's bad TV. It takes too long.
Good.
I will walk down this line. Maybe not quite there, but I do think the referees are quiet quit.
Yeah, you get that vibe.
Like, I don't know if it's an idiot from the league, but I think they are tired of it. I don't think they like officiating it. So they're like, all right, you idiots won't get rid of this. It's all hands on deck. It's no mercy. No holds barred. Do whatever you want.
I remember false start.
Yep, just no holds
We'll call
barred.
fumbles,
No rules
dead.
because
Okay.
we told you guys we can't officiate this and you ignored us. So I think it's more the rest. But I mean, if Goodell put that, I wouldn't look past it.
No, I mean, listen, I don't think Goodell would ever want
Maggie is so proud of all of us buying into this right now.
Yeah, no. Goodell
I've
would never
won them
put
over.
an email or a text out saying
No.
that. I think that Goodell hates the tush push so much he drove to every official's house. So there's and got out. and
Knock on the
said,
doors like,
Bill, here's what I need you to do for me. And it's the NFL. It's big business.
No.
folks.
Yeah.
Goodell doesn't knock on someone's door, Pearl. You've seen this movie. It's the guy's walking out of his job, going to his car, and it's the parking lot.
Yes.
And there's just a light down, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden Goodell comes out in a trench coat like Deep Throat.
Roger, is that you?
No,
He's
you
smoking
gotta
a
have
cigarette. You just see the smoke, puts out the cigarette in his shoe.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
I remember back in my day when the
Disappears.
quarterback would just get under center and just put his head
Yeah.
down without any assist from behind him. That's when men were men.
Right.
Bring
Eli
that
Manning,
back.
you mean?
Or Goodell sends his fixer, Ani Bose, who comes on every year. He's the NFL schedule maker who
Does
comes on
Ani
the
have a
show.
trench coat?
Yeah, every May he comes on during schedule release today. Sends Ani in there, who's who went to high school with me, and says, Ani, take him down. Now, Goodell probably does have some guy who scares people.
course.
He should hire Big Dom.
No, it's too obvious. Big Dom doesn't do subtle. You need a guy that nobody recognizes.
Yeah.
Who do we think would be the best Goodell quiet muscle man?
Oh,
Yes, it
there's-
can't be Troy Vincent. He's
Right.
too recognizable.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
there's lots of through the history of the NFL. If you read a book about it, there's always a fixer.
What
I
was
don't know
the-
who it is now.
What was the guy in New England with Belichick?
Ernie Adams.
Ernie Adams.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll text my NFL friends, see if there's a fixer there.
I'm sure he'd be dying to share that
It'd be very
information. with you.
very candid answer with that.
I do want to thank you,
Who's
EJ.
shadow running the league?
That makes so much more sense that they quiet quit. Like that they're so discouraged by this thing. But honestly, there's all sorts
The
of plays. The guys never know when to blow the whistle any now because it's not just a tush push. Any running back gets 3 yards down, everyone starts pushing them. Like, when do you blow the whistle? This is not about the tush push.
Also, by the way, in terms of refereeing, now that we're on this thing, I just feel like it's happening in college and pro. If the guy's anywhere near the first down marker, they're just moving the chains.
No, but last night they screwed the Commanders.
No, I
in
know,
a
but
big way.
But in most games I'm watching,
Yes,
it feels
you're
like
right.
if they're even near the first down marker, and they're not bringing the chains out, which I mean, I hate that. It's a long time anyway. But there have been some plays where I'm like, they're not even gonna check to see if that was the first down.
Wait, I thought we're not doing the chains anymore because we got the chip in the ball, right? And
On
aren't they doing
college
the
football,
Hawkeye?
they're
Oh, in
just-
college.
they're
I'm
But
just
they
moving.
still-
I think the NFL sometimes
they still have chains, I think.
No, they still have the guys
Yeah.
there, but I was wondering, what do they even do? Because
Well,
didn't we Don't we have the Hawkeye?
I'm talking about like they're not even going to the Hawkeye. They're not doing
what
anything.
happened to the Hawkeye?
Guys, he's on the Avengers, Maggie. No, like they're just moving the chains without even like. Nope, we're moving them first down. I'm like, that looked closer. That looks like that at least needed a pause, and they don't even care. Everything, if you're near it, it's a first down. It's like I don't know. It's like ties of a runner or whatever. I don't know. It's crazy to me.
I have a rant against the Hawkeye technology that I know we don't have time now. That is the stupidest thing in the history of sports. I can't. That annoys me so much because it's beyond useless. It's like a little cartoon that has nothing to do with football.
But tennis, you like it.
Tennis, yes, it has nothing. Tennis is actually showing if the ball's in or out. The Hawkeye technology is just a random little thing because they don't do anything on the spot. Last night, the Commanders got a bad spot, and the Hawkeye technology is measuring off the bad spot. So why do you even have the Hawkeye technology? Because they don't know when the knee is down.
Yeah, they don't even use it, really. They used it more in the preseason.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's because it's not telling you where the spot is. You have to measure where the knee or the whatever is down and the ball, and they can't do that.
Text your NFL friends. Get that fixed up.
That's a lot. I've actually tried to solve this technological problem. It's going to come down to AI.
Oh, damn it.
Because
if Iverson can't stop
was the elbow down? You got to put a chip in the elbow, the knee. Is one butt cheek equal down? I mean, you're getting into that kind of territory.
Well, we all know the butt cheek equals 2 feet.
Not all of us.
So you're going to implant a chip in the butt cheek?
Except for Brian Callahan. Whoops. Except for the former coach of the
Also,
Titans.
Terry McLaurin caught 2 passes that the official called out on both of them, and then they reversed both of them. It's impossible.
Goodness they
the
did,
sport's
too.
impossible to officiate.
The one Terry McLaurin catch on the sideline, if they had kept that as a no catch, I would have lost. No touchdown. I would have lost my mind. Oh, no, that was a catch. I would have lost.
No, that was a touchdown. The touchdown was the first one. Then there was another one on the sideline.
I think I'm talking about the sideline one, where it's like his pinky toe maybe touched the white. No, I'm talking about the touchdown.
Yeah, you're talking about the touchdown.
Yeah.
The second one, it was the middle of his thigh touched the ground.
Yes.
So, like, nobody knows what's a catch, what's a first down. No one knows anything. I'm done.
Let's all bet our life savings on the sport.
Tonight's game
okay, Chauncey.
Is still game 4, even though they played 9 extra innings last night at Dodger Stadium. 18 total frames, 6 hours, 39 minutes, ending just before midnight Pacific on Freddie Freeman's solo homer leading off that 18th inning. He is the first ever with multiple World Series game-ending homers. Dave Roberts' team outlasting the Jays 6-5 for a 2-1 series lead.
Those guys over there, they gave it everything they had. And, unfortunately, somebody's got to win that game. And, fortunately for the Dodgers, we got Freddie Freeman on our team.
But Freeman might have been the third best Dodger at best in Game 3. Reliever Will Klein threw the final 4 innings, allowing just 1 hit and 2 walks. He threw 72 pitches, double his previous high. And then there's Shohei. 2 homers, 2 doubles, 5 walks, 4 of them intentional. It's the second 4 extra base hit game in World Series history. And as an encore, he is scheduled to start Game 4 tonight. The Chiefs pitching a second-half shutout to get away from the shorthanded Commanders, 28-7 at Arrowhead on Monday Night Football. Patrick Mahomes overcoming 2 early picks to throw for 299 and 3 scores. His team is now 1-4 of 5.
I think we're getting better and better. We lost some tough games early that we had won in previous years, but it's not like anyone hung their head. They just continue to get better and better, and that's all we have to do is push forward. And whenever the offense, the defense, and the special teams are rolling, it's fun to play football, and it's been fun to be here at Arrowhead doing it, and now we'll get to take it on the road and see if we can do it again.
It feels like a good time to point out that Jake Bogish is going as Kermit Mahomes for Halloween.
No way.
Yeah,
That's great.
Frog costume, Mahomes jersey over the top.
Look at that. That's great creativity.
Yeah, a little sarcasm.
Came
I like
from his
it.
mom, I guess.
Yeah, definitely not me. Not even a little bit. Thanks, Manny.
Yeah, no problem.
Maggie, back to you.
That's exciting. All right, we've got a lot
That's
to do.
exciting.
We have our own Halloween costumes, by the way, that we'll be decked out in on Friday. My costume arrived.
As did mine. And Andrea, she's not even a football fan or anything. Which is like, really?
That will be unveiled at the end of the week. Meanwhile, coming up next, which NFL team saved their season over the weekend? It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
Can you put a sensor in a butt cheek?
You're in a 5-minute break. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Baby, calm down, calm down. Yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown, for lockdown. Oh,
All right, we get back to the baseball in just one moment. Asking you today, is Shohei Ohtani already the greatest baseball player of all time? Last night, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 5 walks. And Pearl, you're right, 4 were intentional, but his last 5 plate appearances were all walks. It's not like
listen,
the directive was there. Don't pitch and give him anything.
And there should have been another one. Like, Blue Jays maybe win that game if they intentionally walk him on the game-tying home run in regulation.
Yeah,
I keep calling it regulation.
Yeah.
Normal innings? I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, and in the first 9. And then we had a whole other 9. 18-inning game last night, lasted nearly 7 hours. Sean's in Oregon. Sean, what do you think about all this Ohtani love?
Oh, I love it. And I don't want to put no shade on him, you guys, but, I don't think he's the best at either position. I say he's the most talented player we've seen in a long time and a real great player. But I'm just quick to hit the brakes on stuff when anybody says they're the worst or they're the best. And there's so many great guys that have come through the sport. I don't want to put any shade on any of those guys either. We've seen some great players, and I just enjoy what I see.
Sean, I get that, but I don't feel as icky saying this about Ohtani, even though he's in his career, because make the case against it. See, it's like reverse engineer this thing. What's the case against Ohtani being the best, right? So he's not the greatest hitter of all time, and he's not the greatest pitcher of all time, but he's damn good at both.
He's not the best at either one on his team. And just like Coach said last night, luckily we got Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman's the only reason we even won last year. And I put Yamamoto up there as being a better pitcher.
I mean, he doesn't even have to DH anymore, or not DH. It doesn't even have to hit or pinch hit or any of that stuff anymore. These pitchers are asked to do absolutely nothing for the National League pitchers. I mean, I can't make the case against Ohtani. Okay, because he's not the greatest pitcher in the sport and he's not the greatest hitter, but nobody else is even attempting to do both. And it's, Sean, thank you for the call. It's a little like, Travis Hunter, right? So Travis Hunter is obviously in a much different stage of his career. Two-way player now for Jacksonville, played for Deion in Colorado. But Travis Hunter, he's going to have to pick at some point if he really does want to be great at both. Because I think the early returns, and listen, maybe he'll develop into an all-time two-way player, but the early returns are he is not being a difference maker on offense, and right now not being a difference maker on defense, where he would have an opportunity to really be maybe one of the greatest in the league at either side, right? If he dedicated himself. Like Shohei is making a difference, Pearl. I know you think that the Dodgers are inevitable and they would win no matter what.
Well, I do think that, but yeah.
But look at how skilled he is.
Do you think Shohei will ever win a Cy Young?
Damn close. He would have had it 1 year if he had just stayed healthy.
Well, that's the problem. But yeah.
Also, you have
but
to
this
be
year, this year was not. This year was a build-up year on pitching. This was
he was coming off an injury.
Yeah,
Not this year, but okay, one of the years with the Angels, like you have to be so incredibly amazing to win a Cy Young on teams that are losing like that. Like Jacob deGrom was able to win a Cy Young because not only like the team he was on, the Mets at the time, were awful, and he was so far and away the best pitcher, and he would lose games like 1-0. And sometimes he would or lose a game 2-1, and sometimes he'd be the guy who actually drove in the only run for the team.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, we're doing we're in the middle of a career. The guy is just, he's probably halfway through, and we're already saying he's better than Willie Mays. He's better than Babe Ruth. He's better than Ted Williams. It just feels like a little hard to say. Yes, is sure shaping up that way. Absolutely. But I don't know. It just feels like a little hot for me in the sense that, like, because we do this where it's the greatest. If his career ended today, like, he's not passing Willie Mays on the all-time list.
Okay, so you know how we do like the Jordan-LeBron debate, and it gets kind of tedious and taxing, but what it kind of comes down to, which is a debate that's supposed to be fun, but it gets weird. What it really comes down to is peak, right? Jordan at his peak is better than LeBron at his peak.
LeBron James.
Because LeBron has him on the longevity aspect and all that.
So,
I kind of feel the same way about this Ohtani thing, right? Like at their peak, at the peak of his powers, when he can have 6 shutout innings and 10 strikeouts and also hit 3 home runs in a game. Yeah. That peak, no disrespect to Willie Mays or to Ted Williams, just by virtue of hitting and pitching, that peak is going to be higher than anything those guys could have achieved.
So you're saying that's like definitely better than hitting 400 or hitting 73 homers in a year.
Yeah.
I mean, the peak of Bonds, I put an asterisk next to because I would argue the peak of Bonds is certainly better than any pitching hitting combo Shohei does. I mean, he had like multiple years where he was over 500 on base percentage, over 1,400 in OPS. Like, I don't think there's even an argument. Of course, the peak of Bonds with San Francisco is better.
If that was the only story.
Yeah.
That's not the only story.
Know,
we barely talk. But think about Barry Bonds is not even like in the history of the sport in the way that he should be.
Yeah.
Like, and that's his own fault, by the way, because he was cheating and, he was obstructing justice or whatever he actually got in trouble for. But, it was obvious there. And he's like not even around. Think about Michael Jordan, right? He's still like at the face of the NBA in some ways. Wayne Gretzky is still the face of the NHL in a lot of ways. Barry Bonds is just gone. You see him anywhere near the World Series? Even just like a sit-down interview, a casual one-on-one. I know he has no tie to these teams, but if he's really the greatest of all time, don't you just get his thoughts, his take?
By the way, Ted Williams hit 406 in 1941. Came in second in MVP voting. Is that amazing?
To who?
Joltin' Joe, baby. Joe D.
Yeah.
This is a time of legends. So, yeah, listen, it's not the greatest day to argue against Shohei, but it's 110 years of baseball history. 150 years, sorry.
You're welcome to weigh in. Is Ohtani already the greatest of all time? And we're asking, is it time for the Browns to make a change to Shador?
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Payoff pitch. Hit high, center and deep. Varsho back, warning track. Wall, it is gone. The Dodgers go nuts on the field as Freeman wins the 18-inning marathon with a solo homer.
That's how it sounded on Blue Jays radio. Honestly, they could have been a lot sadder. 18 innings of baseball. We had a doubleheader all in one game, and the Dodgers win it 2-1 courtesy of Freddie Freeman, but he wasn't the only part of the story. Obviously, of nearly 7 hours of baseball, a lot's going to be the story. But Shohei Ohtani, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 5 walks. He is on base 9 times and had 12 total bases in this game. It's the third multi-home run game for him in a single postseason.
Yeah, 37 runners left on base, 6 runners thrown out. A lot of mistakes. A lot of drama. I think there were multiple home runs who if it was warmer out, would have gone way out of the park. Listen, the Dodgers lineup is hard to get through. I can't believe that the Blue Jays made that last till the 18th inning. I mean, the Blue Jays should have scored too. I feel like nothing made sense last night. There was about 15 times that game should have been over.
Yeah, I think that the Blue Jays clearly left picking up the pieces here and probably can point to a few more self-inflicted wounds. Now, they got some bad luck as well. George Springer pulls an oblique. It looked really bad. He didn't even try to take like another swing to see if he could give it a go. He immediately, you could see him mouthing to the trainers, "I'm done." That was an emergency pinch hitter. They had 4 pinch runners in this game. Obviously, runs were extremely hard to come by in the later innings, but they ultimately did not have their best lineup or even close to it when it mattered the most in the 18th inning. Now, listen, whoever thinks you're going to go 18 innings, and to be fair to the Blue Jays, their bullpen did hold. Eric Lauer was awesome for 4 2/3, and Will Klein for the Dodgers is a name I was not too familiar with. He had only thrown 30 pitches, was his high in a Major League Baseball game. He hadn't pitched in like a month, and he was called on for 4 shutout innings last night.
I believe he was on the couch at some point recently in his career, too. You would think that the Dodgers would have just won the series because of this, normally, because the emotional letdown. But the Blue Jays are a very unpredictable team. Like, really, with the injuries they've had, they probably shouldn't be at this point. It looked like they were dead and on arrival against the Mariners, too. So I do think it's still a series. And you mentioned earlier in the show, like tonight's game, oh, my God.
Shohei Ohtani gets the ball for the Dodgers tonight. So what he did last night, which was historic in its own, and now he's the starting pitcher tonight for the Dodgers. That's, to me, I don't think I've been as excited for something that wasn't a Game 7 or maybe my own team playing in the playoffs or something like that and I don't even remember when. Just like to see something that I felt like I've never witnessed. And it's going to be Shane Bieber on the mound for the Blue Jays. Obviously, both bullpens just are on fumes. Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of pressure on both of these starters to go deep into this game.
Well, I mean, listen, Shohei was nasty last time he started. There should hopefully be more runs if it gets into a bullpen game because I can't stay up to the 18th inning.
This is about you. You're tired.
I mean, basically, they're going to be doing positional players if they go into 18 innings. It's going to be the right fielder will be lining up on the mound.
Meanwhile, I mean, how is Shohei going to respond here? We mentioned this baseball game, literally 6 hours and 40 minutes, and he was on base 9 different times. He's standing out there. I know standing, you're like, geez, they're professional athletes, but, I mean, it's late in the season, obviously. They're well-oiled machines, and Shohei has got this really elaborate, like, pre-game ritual to get ready for games that he does completely separate from the entire team. So you get to bed last night around, 3 a.m.? That's generous.
I mean, I don't know how you get to bed at 3 a.m. after. There must be so much adrenaline flying through that guy.
Yeah, so the game ended like around midnight. Then you got to, shower up, do media, all the other stuff. Then you eventually get home. Then you've got to unwind and actually get to sleep and then somehow be back at the ballpark in only a matter of hours to get ready to pitch and hit.
Who's going to walk decoy?
I mean, where's Ipe? Oh, right. Federal prison. There's got to be another guy.
Jeez, that was harsh.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I didn't steal $17 million from Ohtani. He did. Anywho, 888-710-4ISN. We're asking, is Shohei Ohtani already the greatest baseball player of all time? You can go vote at Maggie and Pearl. Richie's in Queens. What's up, Richie?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I grew up, I think you know that, Mag. I was a big San Francisco Giant fan. I was a really amazed guy. I'm 77. I got to see all of these guys. Bonds, Andrew, you touched on it. You couldn't pitch to him. A 500 on base. It was an incredible series. Obviously, Korea, obviously with the PEDs and questions. But I mean, he was another Hall of Famer before it got to that point. But what he does is just incredible. I mean, you're never probably going to ever see that again. As far as to come back the next day after that kind of game, get on base, 9 times, and then pitch the next day. So, yeah, I mean, if you put all of that into a package, how could anybody be any better than that? And he is a force. And I know they say defensively he's a DH, but if he had to play the field, he was an elite fielder. So, and that game last night, guys, it really kind of revitalized baseball because baseball is like, taking a second fiddle to the NFL. But everything that happened last night, the tip balls, the Edmonds play, throwing across the diamond, the play at the plate, it was really, for 18 innings, it was just, if you're really a baseball purist, I mean, you really had to enjoy that. So,
yeah.
And
Richie, you're right. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Richie, can I argue, though?
last point.
You can't do everything.
Go ahead.
You can't do everything. You ever seen him catch a game? And at that height, I don't think he can pull that off.
Second base.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you had to, and guys, I wouldn't worry about them. I know it's late. They got to bed late, but you know what? They'll get through it, and they'll be fine. But with the thing, Mag, you talk up Giffen, you talked up Andrew. You mentioned, Daniel Jones is one of the most amazing stories. And more people are tuned into NFL versus college. So if you had to pick a name between those, you'd go with Daniel Jones. This guy, should the Vikings sign him? Is he a backup? Should they give him what he went through with the Giants? And he's got the best record, about 106 rating. This is amazing what this guy's done. Can he continue? We'll see, but I think that's the story in the NFL.
Yeah,
really.
Richie, thank you. Nailed it on both accounts. To me, what Richie said, the package of Shohei Ohtani, right? That's what propels him in this greatest of all time conversation, which oddly doesn't feel gross to me, doesn't feel icky, doesn't feel like you're disrespecting Willie Mays or disrespecting Barry Bonds or Hank Aaron or anybody because of the package, that the pitching and the hitting. As far as Daniel Jones, Pearl, he's definitely the story, one of the stories of this early part of the season. I keep waiting for the bottom to drop out, and I think that's probably not going to happen. I think that obviously he looks like he's too skilled and the offense is too good. However, I do still worry about Daniel Jones getting hurt because he has had a penchant for doing that in his career. And also, I do worry about what happens if they do go against a really amazing run defense. If you do not have Jonathan Stewart, or Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Stewart retired a while ago. If you don't have Jonathan Taylor as that complementary part of the run game and you focus in just on Daniel Jones, he's got a good arm. He can throw a good deep ball. They have weapons. But if you make him one-dimensional, does it look as good as it does right now?
Well, yeah. You're pointing to their schedule's been pretty easy. And by the way, here's the thing. It continues to be pretty easy. I guess the fear is he's Sam Darnold, where last year when finally you got pressure on him, he crumbled late in the season. By the way, Sam Darnold is sneaky, putting up just as good a season as Daniel Jones, which is crazy. Listen, is he going to be a first-team All-Pro? No. But I think Daniel Jones is good. Shane Steichen has really been the star of that, too. He's designing a great offense. I said it coming in the year, I love the wide receiver targets. I think Alec Pierce is a great deep threat. I think
Michael Pittman,
Josh Downs, they have a lot of little guys. They have a lot of different places to go. And now they added Ty Warren. Is huge, and Jonathan Taylor. So it's not just Jonathan Taylor. You got to respect the whole offense. Again, the schedule colors everything. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to go as the story of the NFL. I'm not sure why, maybe through week 8, but I feel like at the end of the day, what we saw last night with Kansas City, it does feel like it's Chiefs league or bust right now.
I'll give you that. So let's just break it down here quickly about the Colts. So the one really, I guess two. How many good defenses have they faced? All right. Miami,
Denver.
no. Denver was good, and they should have lost that game. They won on a special teams penalty.
That's an interesting team. Yeah.
They lost to the Rams 27-20, and that was a really good defense. But to be honest, I feel like they actually should have won that game. Arizona's a good defense. They barely beat them. Are the Chargers a good defense? Depends on what day you catch them. And they're going to play Pittsburgh this upcoming weekend.
Well, that's a layup.
Look at what the Packers just did. Tucker Kraft is still running free somewhere in Pittsburgh. What do you think Ty Warren's going to do?
You can say they almost lost those games, but offensively they played well in all those games.
That's true.
The Broncos, they scored, whether they make that field goal or not, they still would have had, 26 points? That's definitely enough to win. The Rams, it was 20 points, but they were stuck on 20 for a while, and that's a really good defense. Cardinals, they scored 31. Chargers, they scored 38. The offense seems real, even if the results may feel like maybe they're squeaking by.
They do have it. To your point, Maggie, they have a bye in week 11, then Kansas City. We saw what that defense could do last night, and Houston. So that's get your pressure. But also, the next two games at Pittsburgh and Atlanta, the single two most unpredictable teams. Mike Tomlin, I've seen this a million times. You think you got that team figured out? Good luck. And then Atlanta beat your Bills, and they might playing indoors in Indianapolis. Who knows what's going to happen there? So,
oh no! If only that game were in Indianapolis.
Oh no, is that overseas?
Yep.
Oh,
I think
anyway.
it's in Berlin.
Oh, my bad. I saw a home game for the Colts. Anyway, there are major challenges coming forward. So we'll test him. Shane Steichen's good with a quarterback who can escape out the right side of the pocket. And Daniel Jones can run enough. Remember he ran for 700 yards. He's not doing anything like that. That's why I think he might be able to stay healthy. Maybe they contain him.
So you mentioned the good defenses that await them. You mentioned at Kansas City, they have Houston twice. At Jacksonville, we'll see if their defense continues to create turnovers at a record pace. At Seattle, if San Francisco, I don't know if they can figure some things out by Christmas. Jacksonville again, and then Houston. I would not be shocked if Houston, this is so tough. Houston gets back on track this past weekend, right? Big win over the 49ers. And I thought, the Texans could go on a run here. But man, their schedule is just, it's hard. Denver next week, Jacksonville, I guess at Tennessee. Okay, then Baltimore, Seattle, San Francisco. I'm sorry. Denver, Jacksonville. Then you got Buffalo in prime time, at Indy, Kansas City. I want Houston to challenge the Colts for this division, but I don't know if I see it.
Well, they're already 4 games back. I think that'd be like the greatest comeback ever to beat the Colts are 7-1.
I know.
Now, so Houston's going to try and get that third wild card spot because now that Buffalo and New England are both taking 2 spots in the playoff, then you're going to have the Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs. It's going to be really hard for Houston to sneak in.
Quickly, back to baseball. John's in Connecticut. Good morning, John.
Good morning, all. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, thank you. So I think that maybe a better category for Ohtani is the greatest athlete to ever play baseball because he's kind of the test tube case in this. No one's ever done it. And when you consider the discipline, the amount of training, timing, all that stuff that goes into being a pitcher, or the same thing that goes into being a hitter, the fact that he's able to combine the two is mind-boggling. I mean, it's really never been done before. I do think it's too early to call him the best baseball player, but if he continues, if he pitches tonight and he gets a win, that's astounding. I don't even know how you would classify that.
Yeah.
So I think
wait,
far
John.
and away, the best athlete.
John, is he a better athlete than, say, Ricky Henderson jumps to mind. Is he a better athlete than him?
He's the first athlete to combine 2 specific disciplines at an all-star level. None of those guys have. Yes, Ricky Henderson could steal and he could hit, but the act of pitching a game and then hitting equally as important as a pitcher, it's never been done before.
I have a question. John, thank you for the call. Good call. I have a question for Perloff here because I'm actually not sure what your answer would be. Do you consider pitchers to be athletic?
Oh, my God, no. Yeah.
I had a feeling that's
I
what
mean,
you were
they
gonna
used to
say.
be, by the way, now they all look good. They used to be like kind of chubby or weird. Like pitchers used to be in the worst shape ever. In fact, I think baseball was better when the pitchers, like, you think a pitcher touched a weight until the year 1994? No way.
Look at CC Sabathia and
Yeah.
Bartolo Colon.
Yeah. Bartolo Colon was pitching to he's 45. Do I think they're athletes? Of course not.
Actually, Cece, to his credit, tried to lose weight.
And he stunk
and
after
it was
he did.
terrible. And
Oh,
he
my
had to put the weight
goodness.
back on. Because if you see him now, he's really good friends with Tiki Barber, obviously.
Dude, he is jacked.
Who does the show next door.
Yeah.
And they're best friends. And Cece is unrecognizable.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays,
I thought he
everybody
was sick.
Now everybody comes in, they're 6'3", throw 110 miles an hour in the 6th inning. They plays. It used to be that the guy who came in the 6th inning, it looked like he was about to sell your insurance after the game.
he
Had
might
never
have.
been to a gym in his life.
Literally got the Marlboro hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah, pitching has changed, but no, when I think of athlete, and we talked about this, there's a thing in the NFL called athletic score. In the draft process, that measures your speed, your explosive traits, like your jumping ability and stuff. That's when I put that in athlete. So pitching's a skill, not an athletic thing. That's how I think of it. Like athletic is, who's like athletic, like who can jump over you. Like Vince Carter jumping over Frederick Weiss, that's athletic. Kent Tacoli, you don't even know who that is, but a middle reliever striking out a guy or getting a grounder. Greg Maddux, to me, is, of course, is an amazing pitcher. Like, if you line him up and say, who's the best athlete of this group, he will not stand out. He just looks like a guy.
poll question, EJ. What is going to make people more mad? Perloff saying pitchers aren't athletic, or Perloff saying Steph Curry is not athletic? That's the one you get people.
Yeah, but people then why do we do it in the draft process then? Like, if he's not fast or strong, then we say he's got a bad athletic skill. Like, what is that about?
Well, maybe that's just the way that they measure athleticism in football. But there can be other ways to measure athleticism. Why does the NFL have to be the end-all, be-all?
So is a bowler a great athlete because he's skilled?
I mean, a bowler can be a great athlete. Hand-eye coordination. That doesn't come into it?
I mean, if you want to think that, sure, I guess. I mean, what's the guy in Kingpin? Ernie?
Big Ern.
Big Ern. I don't really consider him on par with Ricky Henderson, but
Say that to Dick Weber's face. You will not. He will shove a bowling ball where the sun don't shine.
Yes. Is Usain Bolt and Dick Weber the same? Not in my mind, but if you want to go there, sure.
Coming up
His
next.
nickname is Boomer. It was given to him by Lloyd Mosby when he was pitching for Toronto. He is 6'4", 245 pounds, and he wore a T-shirt in spring training that said, "I beat anorexia."
No one describes David Wells quite like the great Vince Scully. Okay, Diana Rossini from The Athletic is going to join us next. We've got a lot of questions about the owners' meetings for which Diana basically lived in a hotel lobby for like the better part of a week. So we will break that all down next. It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, this portion of the show is brought to you by Ethos Life, the easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam, just a few health questions. Get your free quote at checkethos.com, not available in all states. Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. By the way, I want to give a shout out to our listeners and callers, Warriors, staying up till 18 innings and calling in. That's pretty cool.
Or crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You get into these crazy extra inning baseball games, you can't look away. And this game actually had it all. I mean, it had base running, amazing plays. It had base running errors. It had unsung heroes. It had superstars coming through.
You know who stayed up? I just saw in the hallway, Boomer Esiason. Stayed up the whole thing.
Okay, well, let's turn our attention to someone who I hope is a little smarter than that. Diana Rossini is a senior NFL insider for The Athletic. You weren't up for that game, were you, Diana?
I was not, but I'm really impressed. I have a sister who knows nothing about sports, and she called me this morning on her way to school. She's a fourth grade teacher, and she's like, "Did you see this game last night? It was amazing." I'm like, "Wait, are you okay? Who are you right now?" And she said she was checking up on one of her kids, and the TV was still on. She's like, "I couldn't go to sleep." I was like, "It's October baseball, baby. Welcome," you know?
You know what? That actually probably bodes well for Major League Baseball. They're going to do a huge rating tonight. There's no football on Wednesday, and you got Shohei on the mound. But let's get to Diana. The reason why we want her on today is to talk all things NFL. So as I said before we went to break, you set up shop in a hotel lobby for several days in a row, kind of chasing down NFL owners. Before we get to the news from your column, which was everywhere this weekend, because you're very good at what you do, who is the most intimidating and who is the most approachable owner of the ones that you interacted with?
Yeah, they all have different reasons why they're intimidating. They're all intimidating because they're very, very rich. So in my mind, I'm always like, gosh, their bank accounts, my brain can't even wrap my head around it. In fact, I try not to think about it ever, right? Like just they are people, they ate breakfast this morning, they maybe got an Uber, maybe had a car service. Like I try to keep them as normal as possible because in order to do this job, you have to have some guts to go up to them. And you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't like talking to owners, but I enjoy them. And to answer your question, I would say the most approachable one is probably Jeffrey Lurie. He's just like a naturally kind face. Like he's always just happy to see everybody. And look, when you win a Super Bowl, you're in a good mood all the time. So despite the fact that they have some stuff going on there, which I'm sure we'll talk about, I've always found Jeffrey Lurie to be really kind. Robert Kraft, also always very approachable. And Jerry Jones in his own way. He can be intimidating because he's got such a presence about him, but he will stop for anyone who wants to talk to him. So that makes it that makes it easy to do the job because Jerry always wants to talk. Mark Davis as well, really kind. Always, Carly Ursay is kind of new to this, as we know. I spent some time with her, and she was lovely and brilliant, actually. But I'd say the scariest. I don't know why. And it makes no sense because everyone says he's wonderful. And when I've had conversations with him, he is. The Rams owner,
Stan Kroenke. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a lot to me. And I'm working on it though, Mags. I think.
Get in with that
he'll be the
Walmart
next
money,
Jack.
Diana. That's real deal.
Did you say the Eagles owner, Jeffrey Lurie, because of your husband, Diana? Because that's becoming a thing. My wife is married to an Eagles fan. It's a challenge. You deserve extra points at all times for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's nice to me because he's like, I know you have to live with this at home at all hours, And it's so funny too because you're right, it kind of is a thing, and people know I'm married to a Philly guy. So even other reporters will anytime I'm doing anything Philly, they take a picture of it. So it's me and Jeffrey talking and immediately send it to me. Send this to Kevin. And here's the good thing, Kevin kind of doesn't care anymore. Do your job. Just let me know if there's problems there and if they're going to win. That's all he wants to know.
Well, that's until they ban the tush push. Then Kevin is going to get fired up again.
So look, it is. I have concerns for the tush push, and my concerns just come from the fact that officiating it has just become the hardest thing, and I don't know what the answer is, and I've talked to a bunch of people around the league since Sunday, and obviously that fumble against the New York Giants, you saw Brian Dable going crazy, and he had every right to. But I've been trying to get an idea of how do you fix it? How do you fix it? And the problem is it's just too hard to officiate. There may not be an answer, which is why I think this again will be a big topic in the offseason. It'll be a different conversation, right? Last year was more about is this a safety concern? Is it hell? I think now this is going to be this play may not exist anymore because we don't know how to manage it.
Diana Rossini is joining us, senior NFL insider for The Athletic. Now, Diana, when you're, doing the job you do and you do it so well, you're in places that can make powerful people sometimes uncomfortable. So you had a line in your news and notes column about Steve Sarkisian, that representatives for Sarkisian have made it known, right, that they're looking around with the NFL and that the Titans could be a spot that would be, potentially appealing to him. He came out forcefully. CAA came out against it. What'd you make of the response to this? Because, a simple no would have also gotten the point across. It was so full force. You've encountered this kind of thing before, I'm sure, because when you start poking around in places where people don't want you, you're going to get this kind of reaction.
Yeah, and if you noticed in the statement and in Sarkisian's comments, which were filled with a lot of frustration and anger, and he has every reason to, right? Because we know that coaches want to keep their programs together. We've got NIL, we've got boosters, we've got recruits. There's a million reasons why a program does not want anyone to ever know anything except that Steve Sarkisian wants to be the head coach of Texas for a very long period of time. Those words were never said, right? CAA never said it. Steve Sarkisian never said it. I'm assuming they think that the fan base and the people at Texas know that, but I wanted to hear them say that, and they never did. Now, that being said, most college coaches want to coach in the NFL. I don't think this is, I understand why it's a big story, but I also don't, but I also understand Steve Sarkisian, right? He's at a time where the college landscape is really difficult to navigate and there's a lot of unknown. I think it makes all the sense in the world to always have options, right? The problem is nobody wants the world to know that you're always looking just in case. But I think it's a very human nature thing for Steve Sarkisian to go, hey, if Texas fires me or this doesn't work out or I can get an opportunity to work in the NFL, the king of all sports, I may want to do that. So I can tell you, though, and I think it's really fair to both Steve Sarkisian and Jimmy Sexton, while we never reveal where we get information from, it did not come from them, right? So this was not Sark trying to put pressure on Texas. This was not Sark trying to create a narrative so people are talking about him. So this really, I'm an NFL reporter, and I approach this just through the lens of the NFL, and that's really how this came about.
So it's October 28th. Are there already back channel things going on about filling future coaching vacancies? I remember last year, Bill Belichick somehow said, I'm going to North Carolina, because it was implied that he'd already heard he wasn't getting an NFL head coaching job. Are teams like the Titans looking at coaches through agents and things like that? Is that all happening now, or does that happen in the offseason?
Well, Bill called the Jets, remember?
Yeah.
He had called New York to say, hey, maybe we can put that weird history behind us. Oh yeah, Andrew, there's always so much back channeling. And I think that's stuff sometimes where you see fans' reaction to things, and they either are doubting reporting or conversations, and nobody realized there's an entire dark web, we'll call it, of things happening that we're not always privy to. And there, agents, coaches, GMs, owners over the years have always said to me, you guys think you do such a good job. You're only reporting, finding out 5% of the stuff that's really going on around the NFL. So you've got the Titans with an opening right now. We know they're not the only team that's going to be looking for a head coach. There are owners at this point, like you just said, we're in week 9. Most can see the direction that their teams are going. And we're kind of in that gray, almost clear area. So yeah, the conversations are happening constantly. And, with a power agent like Jimmy Sexton, who represents so many coaches in football, it makes all the sense in the world that they communicate with him, as they should.
Diana Rossini joining us, senior NFL insider for The Athletic. All right, a couple more things to get to, Diana, because you spent all this time in a hotel lobby chasing down these owners.
Maggie, by the way, if anyone doesn't understand what you're saying, they're like, so she just shows up to these lobbies? So it was the owners' meetings at the Omni in Midtown Manhattan. And what happens is the owners meet all day long. And the only opportunity you have to talk with them is when they walk into the lobby and when they exit the lobby. There's no set press conferences. So it's up to you to essentially attack and have some strategy, which is also very difficult because you have 32 owners. So you have to quickly go in your head, A, who am I faster than? B, who do I know is going to stop and talk before, so I can basically kill some time to talk to someone else who I know is trying to jet out of there. You know what I mean? So you have to really think it through.
This is all of your skills all together at once. It's like reporting, you are a college athlete, you got to be very hyper-aware socially. This is why women would be very, very good at this game, because you got a lot of things working at the same time. Jimmy Haslam with the Browns, endlessly fascinating team, never from a win-loss perspective, but always fascinating. So I'm curious, you got a chance to kind of you talk to Jimmy Haslam and a little about what they're thinking about Shedeur Sanders and whether or not we're going to see him this year. And then, Diana, I'm always a little dubious when a guy like Jimmy Haslam gives a vote of confidence to his coach and general manager, because it seems like that's a day-to-day kind of thing, because he's fired so many head coaches.
I know. It's like we know things change all the time. But I will say sometimes behind the words, and when you're looking at these people and you're talking to them, and I get it, some of this is sales. But I really felt from talking to him and looking at him when he spoke of Kevin, it was with a lot of regard and respect. And he did mention, that trade for Deshaun Watson as if that was his fault. He never said that way. He wasn't like, it's all on me. But I think that helps Kevin Stefanski's case here in Cleveland, knowing that the owner's like, all right, I put you in a position here where you guys been behind the 8 ball. You haven't had good quarterback play. You're trying, and Kevin's had some success over the years, but lately it hasn't been great, which brings us to Shedeur. And Jimmy Haslam was explaining that I think there's a lot said about Shedeur on the outside, stuff that we've reported, stuff that I've talked to you guys about, stuff we've seen, right? That just seems a little immature still as he's growing into this role. But he said that he finds him to be really focused and disciplined behind the scenes, and he's working hard. I think the Cleveland Browns are also just working hard themselves, the coaching staff and even members of this team, in helping him learn the job of quarterbacking in the NFL. It's sometimes nothing to do with the X's and O's of football. It's knowing and understanding how to do the job, which is why Dylan Gabriel was always ahead of him, because he had that understanding of what Kevin Stefanski was looking from him right out of the gate.
Sorry, Diana, quick follow-up here. So Jimmy Haslam, the Browns owner, is taking full credit for Deshaun Watson, and that ended up being a disaster. I think they called it a swing and a miss. Is he also, do you get the sense, taking credit for the Shedeur Sanders pick?
No, that's all Andrew Berry. They've been pretty clear about that that was an Andrew Berry choice. He took a chance on him, and they were hoping it would work out, and I think they still are. Nobody there is like, oh, this is done, this is dead in the water. I just think they just need some time, which I think is a theme, right? It's always a theme in this league that nobody wants to give anybody. And sometimes you see it work out, and sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't.
Diana, also you talked to Jerry Jones, made a lot of headlines on that conversation. I was really surprised that he told you he did not want a pass rusher, but that was last week. Then they get blown out by the Broncos. It's moving fast. What do you expect Dallas to do around the trade deadline?
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to make calls, take calls. Again, going back to like when you get a feel from a conversation, I didn't feel like they were pressed to make a move. He wasn't hitting me over the head like, yes, we're checking out everything. In fact, most of our conversation was about, it's really hard to find good players available right now. There aren't a lot that make sense. Yes, they have the draft capital to do it, and they have the means to make a move, and they have an offense that's been pretty solid, and in fact, fantastic, and led by Dak. But sometimes, even though you have a need, it just may not be there. He did go on to explain that sometimes people think a trade is an instant fix. He sees it almost as sometimes it's a disruptor too, that it doesn't help the scenario by just adding a player this time of year who needs some time to learn and sort of get adjusted to the guys around him. But I am sure it would pain him. But I'm sure if I told him he could have Micah Parsons and all his picks, he would take it.
Diana, we're flat out of time. We could do this for an hour. Thank you so much for doing this and for emptying the notebook for us, because your column is fantastic. The podcast is awesome. Scoop City. We're just huge fans. So thanks for doing it.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. We could have gone to 100 other things. The Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Steelers are interested in Rodgers for next year.
Yeah.
Diana just had everything in that column.
I think you got onto an interesting topic, the athleticism of the insiders. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Insider Olympics? I mean, Jay Glazer will win the MMA. Schefter's in great shape. Schefter goes to gym all the time. Diana will destroy them.
Rich Eisen, 100 meter?
Yeah.
Well, we know Rich is already clocked, so he already has a timeout there.
When you said Olympics, I thought maybe you meant combine. Are we doing like the 3-cone drill?
That's what I thought he was going to.
No, a combine. But no, Rich is not exactly an insider, so we got to do the insiders. Can
you imagine Adam Schefter trying to do the vertical jump?
Aw.
You know, our guy Jonathan Jones at CBS, he's a pretty good athlete too. He's a tall guy. He'd be good in this.
Didn't Adam Schefter try to catch a ball from a jugs machine once, and it went horribly wrong?
Oh,
yes.
I'm sure that would be an awful idea.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, Schefter's pretty big, though. I mean, he's not tall, but he's in great shape. This is going to be fantastic.
Michigan man right there.
Wait, we had this story on our rundown for like a month, and we never got to it, and I finally erased it, and now we need it. The Celtics, before the season started, had all the media who cover the Celtics come to the practice facility thinking they were playing a media-on-media pickup game, right? Like the reporters versus the reporters. And it turns out Joe Mazzulla then had all the coaches play the reporters. What was the final score?
It was something to 4, right? 48-4?
I think it was like 56-4.
I think it was worse than that.
I think the reporter scored 2 baskets.
I don't understand. Like, usually there's some good players amongst the reporters. Like, there's a lot of guys that reporters played.
How many buckets do you think you get in that game?
Pearl would be the best player.
No.
I'm saying.
Like, normally, like in a media game, like I would not be. But you know who's a great player? Your friend from the Washington Post, Mike Wise.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. We worked with a guy named Chris Ballard, college player, who is a writer. Mannix has Chris Mannix, who covers the NBA. It's got a nice low post game. I think I could put together a media team. There's something wrong with the Boston guys. Did they have Shaughnessy out there? Like, what happened to this team?
Oh, my God. Bob Ryan
out there picking up full court.
Who is on this Boston team? Yeah, Joe Mazzulla he's 5'10".
They couldn't call Brian Scalabrine last moment and say, hey, bud.
That'd be cheating.
You need some help here. he's Boston media. That's not cheating.
Cornbread Maxwell, I'm sure he's got a good couple minutes in him at least.
I grew up hating the Celtics. I do like cornbread.
Who doesn't
I
love
like cornbread too.
Yeah.
I like the player. I mean, I like the person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's the best athlete who never played at a high level? Like, you can't have White Mamba come in the pickup game. That doesn't count. Just pure
I don't know. You ever seen
reporter.
Brian Scalabrine play that guy down? There's a famous court on West 4th Street in New York City.
The Cage.
There's this guy who claims to own it. Scalabrine played him a one-on-one. It's one of the funniest videos you've ever seen in your life. You've seen it, right, Manny?
Oh, big time.
The
I'm
worst
sure
player,
Scal-
the worst
his
NBA
skills-
player you can imagine will destroy you one-on-one.
Oh, definitely.
Amen.
I always thought that about the best players you'll see in person are like dudes who played at the Ivy League. You're like, I can't believe this.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? All four. Duncan Robinson could beat all four of us 100-0 combined.
Of course he could.
Yeah.
That's not even a thought.
I mean,
Division III product, though, so he might have a chance.
Yeah, maybe Manny sets a pick.
Oh, yeah, because my 5'8" behind is definitely going to set a good pick.
I've told this story before. I went to tennis camp once and at like a tennis academy.
Nerd.
Yeah. I was beaten by an 8-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
I was 16.
Wow.
Kid you not. Kid was 8 years old. He could barely keep the racket. The racket was the racket was up to his waist almost. And he beat me and I was 16.
I'm impressed you revealed that.
These academy kids, EJ, they're eating, breathing, living it. I'm coming up from upstate New York. There's been snow on the ground for 6 months. I go down there. This kid was a backboard, man. He wouldn't miss. I beat myself, basically. He just returned everything. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I lost to a tennis match to an 8-year-old.
Oh, wait. I have audio of that day.
You cannot be serious.
Oh, how about that? A little manly, though, Max.
Yeah, and then I gave him a wedgie. 888-710-4IS.
Sore loser.
You betcha, EJ. Okay, that was really fun with Diana. If you missed any of it, hit the rewind function on the free Odyssey app, or you can always download the Maggie and Perloff podcast. Coming up next, we will not get through the day without giving you our big man on campus. It's M&P.
It's October baseball, baby.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, the Defensive Player of the Week is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. It seems pretty easy to me. I know they lost, but Myles Garrett and the Browns, like 1,000 sacks, 5 sacks. First time since Khalil Mack in 23. I would say Myles Garrett. And by the way, Myles Garrett, pretty much any week that he's on the field, that dude's a monster, unless you went with somebody who had a winning effort.
I'm just trying to get in EJ's head. What's EJ thinking?
Right. No, I mean EJU. Like, EJ might not have gone that obvious.
EJ does not like the Patriots, though, so I don't know if he would want to do anything to put them over.
All you are your words.
Can't be the Jets anything, because that game was 39-38. I don't remember any big standout defenses.
Rest in peace to all my ops.
Boy. Yeah. Broncos, something, picking off Dak Prescott twice. I could see EJ doing that. What do you got?
I mean, come on. We got to go with the alien.
Oh.
Clowney trying to go right back at KJ. Wembanyama right there. And then again, came over late. Martin misses the three. Champagny secures it. 2 for 1 if the Spurs want it. Wembanyama wants it. From the logo.
Wembanyama?
Victor Wembanyama is your Defensive Player of the Week. He has had a remarkable start to the season that includes 19 blocks through 4 games. He is averaging 4.5 blocks. In that game you just heard, that Brooklyn Nets game, where he blocked Clowney and another player twice, he had 6 blocks in that game. He also had 9 blocks last Friday night. Last night was a little bit of a modest effort, just 1 block, but his 15 rebounds did a lot to help in that case. So Victor Wembanyama, he's going to walk to another Defensive Player of the Year award. He will be the Defensive Player of the Week.
Well, I don't know. Do you know who's second in blocks? Walker Kessler, 2.7. Only 2.5 blocks behind Wemby. Watch out.
Yeah, he's on his tail. Well, it's unfortunate because if you weren't participating in a legal poker game run by the mob, you suddenly do not get a headline in the NBA. No. Tough year for Wembanyama.
No, Wemby's one exception. Everybody's in on that. I
saw him make a 360 layup. Incredible. The guy's 7'5".
Anyone,
He made a 360 layup.
Anyone see VJ Edgecombe's block last night?
I did. That
block
dude
of the
is
year.
nice.
The Sixers were, what Bogues mentioned earlier, I'm going to have to sneak back on that bandwagon without you guys noticing. I was out on the Sixers.
Impossible.
You can't help yourself.
It's the NBA. They keep pulling me back in, Godfather 3 style.
Well, let's get to Bogush.
Oh, thanks.
On that note.
A gentleman named Goose Goslin was the only player with multiple game-ending hits in the World Series until Freddie Freeman.
Little delivers. Freeman. It's one high in the air. Straight away center field. Varsho at the wall. Gone! Freddie Freeman, Mr. World Series.
Steven Nelson on Dodgers radio. Freeman doesn't just have 2 game-ending World Series hits. He has 2 walk-off World Series homers. You just heard the solo shot leading off the bottom of the 18th inning early this morning at Dodger Stadium. It came 1 year and 2 days after Freeman ended Game 1 last October with a grand slam against the Yankees. After 6 hours and 39 minutes last night, the Dodgers had a 6-5 win and a 2-1 lead on the Blue Jays. Shohei Ohtani, another historical performance. 2 homers, 2 doubles, 5 walks, 4 of them intentional. That is the second 4 extra base hit game in World Series history, and he's the first player to reach base 9 times in any single game in 83 years. On top of losing, Toronto is dealing with a right side injury for DH George Springer. Got hurt on a swing in the 7th and basically left the game immediately. The Chiefs won the second half 21-0 to win Monday Night Football 28-7 over the Commanders at Arrowhead last night. 3 touchdown passes for Patrick Mahomes. And Zion Williamson, already in midseason form, randomly sitting out last night's visit from the Celtics with a bruised foot. Boston got its first win, 122-90 in New Orleans.
What, he stubbed his toe on the bed or something? What's a bruised
bar?
foot?
The buffet.
The salad bar. Get out of here.
No, he's jacked right now. He looks great.
I know. Just wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, man. That's off-season workouts.
Wait till he gets hurt, and then he will.
Yeah, wait until he gets hurt. He'll go down on bourbon, eat some gumbo.
To be honest, it's the one city in America where I don't hold it against the athletes. What are you supposed to do?
It's so good.
I know you're supposed to be disciplined and there's good food in every city or whatever. You're that rich, you can find good food.
Find him at Galatoire's every night.
But, what are you going to do?
So you're saying Spencer Rattler had a bad game because he was eating gumbo all day?
I'm just saying when athletes are overweight in Louisiana, I think I give them a little bit more leeway.
But he's the only one. The
Yeah,
Saints
true.
aren't full of fat wide receivers. Chris Olave's problem is not that he's 280 pounds.
No, don't you remember back in 2007 when Drew Brees came to camp all chunky?
Deuce McAllister, big guy.
Yeah, this is a Zion
He actually
problem.
was a big guy.
I would give them a pass even if they were. Maybe the Saints have to get fatter.
Jose Alvarado's been down there for 4 years, and he's still 130 pounds soaking wet.
Honestly, it's actually the sport where you want guys to be bigger.
Tyler Shuck could use some pounds. That's for sure.
Yeah.
How did he play? Did anybody watch that terrible game?
Same as Rattler.
This is like when you thought that Bailey Zappi and someone were the same guy.
They are.
Yeah, Zappy, by the way.
Zappy and Mac
we'll see him
Jones
about
were the
3
same
weeks
dude.
playing for the Browns. Zappy and Mac Jones interchange helmets. Absolutely.
Who's who? Thank you, EJ Stewart, Mandy Rodriguez, Andrew Bogish, Andrew Kaplan, Diana Rossini, and Matt Moscona.